Yes.
Testicle.
Titties.
I could text her.
Okay, so is someone going to die today on D&D? 8 Ball says, better not tell
Maybe.
you now.
Ah,
Rude bitch.
That's very fair. That is very fair.
It doesn't want to spoil you.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers
Ominous 8 Ball of ominosity.
for your own D&D adventure.
Oh god.
Okay, so we're starting off now. Previously on, there was a lot of traveling. There were some messages left behind.
I have notes.
A couple of small occurrences, people passing by. Eventually, the bullshitters approached the
Outskirt.
there's a word, the outskirts, yeah. The outskirts of Dunlea, where upon further approach, someone was attacked with a case of the responsibilities. Also, migraines.
That's what responsibility feels like. Just a fucking migraine.
In the form of coffee?
Honestly, though.
Vic collapsed from
bitch.
a sudden onset migraine, and he purportedly saw. Wait, you did actually tell people. Sorry, Vic did explain what he saw, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Purportedly saw a couple of flashes, images, all very metaphorical. One of the things that
Fucking
do stand
gods.
out is Shadows, the city of. Wait, what did I foreshadow? Dunlea or Taldor?
Taldor.
Taldor.
Taldor,
Was it Taldor?
Yeah,
It was
Taldor main
Taldor.
square, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah,
shadows were
Taldor.
shackled and being dragged to the river, to the lake, and
Lake.
being forced to go in which the lake looked like a fucking more to hell or something.
Yeah.
Welcome to your
And-
void. $10 entry.
On top
Steep.
of that, he also had a vision of a certain icon, 3 spirals in a triangular position,
Triskelion.
Really? Rebellion?
which may call back to a certain other.
yeah,
prophecies
Name
that
was
given.
very, very clever to
drunk
to
shit.
remind us all of that because it had been so many months
Oh,
I'd completely forgotten that.
All right. So, with Vic back on horse, still mildly recovering from the migraine, the rest of you tentatively set forth into the edges of Dunlea.
Oh, are we
I think I
headed
just-
to Dunlea or are we headed to Taldor?
I thought they were
Dunlea.
headed to
Then
Dunlea.
Taldor.
Dunlea. Yeah.
Kitka just pats him on the back, like, you really need to stop drinking whiskey in the morning.
I think the whiskey in the morning is the only thing that's keeping me sane.
No, I think it only makes you worse.
Probably true.
Yes.
Sober patron, Kidre.
God, could you imagine?
Kidra, the god of fucking drunk RTDs.
Sobriety.
Kitka, the god of reason. With a big ass fucking Hummer.
The hammer's name is Reason.
Ah,
And
Oh
there's
my
a sword
God.
which is called Logic.
Okay.
I have to draw that now.
Void.
God.
I'm just gonna briefly describe something, and I gotta jump back to Kaz. Get out of my game, Cat. Kaz.
No.
As
Go
you
ahead.
guys are coming sort of over a relatively grassy knoll, not the yipping knoll, the knoll like
hmm
grassy.
Like the one that
The geographical knoll.
JFK
Geographical
was
knoll.
shot from.
Yes, I was thinking that too.
Yes, exactly. You take in for the sight for a moment of what Dunlea looks like, and it looks like a fairly medium-sized town. However, with the dawn well and truly behind you, the sun up in the sky, you don't see much by way of traffic or the usual bustling sounds you'd associate with the usual goings on of any sort of town. To the point when that conveniently placed coffee merchant who passed you by expressed his concern over the population of Dunlea. You can very much see was well founded from where you are, and there isn't really much movement that you can see into the city. Oh, sorry, not city, the town. So, with that, I would like first to jump to Cat. Cat, I'd like you to first roll for me a D100, please.
Oh,
Just
boy.
flat D100.
I believe I'm gonna die.
90.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Not you guys.
Do you want the percentile as well, like the D10 as well, or just the D100?
Actually, yeah, just throw me a D10, just to be accurate, I guess.
93.
93. All right. Okay. I need you to now also roll me a Constitution check.
Oh boy.
Okay. When my computer decides to work. That would be a 19.
Okay. You get up and you immediately are bombarded with the sounds of strong wind, and the ground underneath you is very shaky. You hear the rattling of wood and the scritching of rope first and foremost. You are also overcome with a small wave of nausea, but you thankfully keep whatever you may have imbibed and or eaten well within the confines of your person. So, you look around you, and you are immediately treated to the sight of a mountainous range that stretches out before you. And you specifically the ground that was moving underneath you, you're literally just sort of splayed across this rope bridge that sort of seems secure, but it's tied sort of it's sort of following along the side of the mountain range.
Where's my bird?
Your bird is not near you. You don't see mouse nearby.
Where the fuck is my bird? She's actually going to say this out.
You do hear the sound of flapping wings nearby. So, like, eventually, you sort of hear them some flapping nearby. Would you like to sort of take a glance around further apart from the fact that it's rope bridge? Okay, so while you're on the rope bridge, on one end, the rope bridge disappears into what looks like a little bit of a cave entrance. On the other end of the rope bridge is a small sort of outcropping on the side of the mountain and a hut.
Okay, can I hear which direction the flapping wings is coming from?
Yes, it is coming from the hut.
Can I do check? Because Chaz is going to know enough about owls to know that they are silent.
Okay.
So she's just going to do like a general investigation check to see what's going on around her.
Sure. Do the roll for me.
She ain't seen shit. She got a 7.
You're pretty sure owls don't flap their wings so loudly, but you might be mistaking them for eagles, maybe? I'm not sure. But you have an inkling that maybe that might not be mouse.
Alright. She is going to stealth and then head towards the hut.
Okay. Roll me the stealth, please.
That would be 28.
Okay. You, without, despite the loud noise of the wind being so high up as you are, the rope sort of the rope bridge gently swaying back and to and fro. You manage to cross and reach the sort of the grounded part of the outcropping, with little to no disturbance. As you come closer, the hut becomes a lot more. You can sort of like see a lot more details about the hut. The small hut is very. It's just made out of like, pure wood. Nothing particularly fancy about it. But there are a couple of open windows that you can peek in. Would you like to?
Yes, please. That was her next step.
Okay. Through the windows, you can see a couple of herbs and various sort of flora, maybe a couple of vegetables, you note, sort of hanging loosely from the roof of the hut, like from the ceiling of the hut, rather. There is a large table in the middle of this hut, and what looks like a humongous sort of fireplace on the other side.
Is the door locked?
It's not locked, but it is closed. So.
But it's closed and the windows are open?
Yep, the windows. There is no like shutter on the window. It's quite literally just a square, and you can go in.
Okay.
Through the window if you so wish.
She can intrude the window.
Okay.
How bright is the room? Like, is it dark or is it well lit or?
It's sort of it's morning. It's proper morning, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. sun bearing down on you, but it is also rather cold. Not overcast, some clouds, so there is a fair amount of light spilling into the room, the hut. And so there's not really much by way of darkness or shadow in there.
Okay. And there's no one in there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no one in there. Yes
Roll
or no?
perception. Roll perception.
Natural 20.
Not a single person. However, you do detect a bit of movement in a corner of the hut. You manage to find the flapping noise, and you see just sort of in the corner there's these mildly rattling things under a cloth. And there is also a small, very familiar figure currently pecking away at the corner of the cloth.
And the familiar figure is Mouse?
Yes, it's Mouse.
Okay, just double checking, because there are many familiar figures it could be.
It could just be Glenn.
Alright, Chaz is gonna intrude the window.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna be like, Mouse.
Okay, sorry, just for kicks, can I just have you do an acrobatics check? Because it is a little high up. Not difficult to get to, but it is a little high up.
Okay, acrobatics is plus dex or strength?
Yeah, dex.
Okay, that saves me. That makes it a 14.
You magically pirouette yourself through the window, not even touching the sill. Right, so you land inside the hut, and so you're starting to admonish Mouse. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Mouse's head immediately snaps to you, and as soon as she sees you come in, she takes a quick flight and goes to your side.
Right. Chaz is actually going to have a look at the flappy things under the cloth. But what she's going to do is kind of whip out the cloth and then hold it as a shield in case these things can like spit fire or something.
Okay. As soon as you flip that cloth off the whatever was covering, you notice immediately a sort of small square cage, and inside it, the source of the flapping, there seems to be a caged couple of pigeons here. More interestingly, though, actually no, wait, I need you to roll for this. I'd like you to roll nature for me.
Okay. Oh, dropped it. That's percent.
Yes.
That's a 15.
These don't look like your average picnic basket. No, your average pigeons.
Mhm.
You've seen plenty a bird in your life, you'd like to think. These look particularly fancy pigeons. They are they have sort of like a pure white sort of feathery thing, and they have a nice little flare at the back of their head. So these don't look like just random city pigeons that someone caged. These look like bred pigeons of some form.
She's just gonna look at these pigeons and just very quietly be like, "What the fuck?"
The pigeons coo in response.
Alright, she's gonna have a look around, see if she can work out who owns this hut.
Okay, roll the 20. So, of note to you, inside the hut is first the hanging bits of flora, like vegetables of some form, garlands, flowers, herbs, sort of dangling from the top of the ceiling, and sort of like a domed kind of ceiling. The fireplace currently has a huge copper pot in it, and it looks to be empty at at the moment. There is some ash at the bottom of the fireplace, so you figure it was used at least some time before. The only other thing of note is the huge table in the middle of the hut. Now it's a round table and currently covered in a tacky looking tablecloth that reaches all the way down to the floor.
And because this is Chaz, is there anything valuable in the hut?
Yes, there is actually. There is a couple of small bags on a side table, small pouches, sorry, that look to contain some form of valuables. Would you like to inspect them?
Yes, please.
Inside the bags, you find a couple of silvers. In one of the bags, and it sort of like sticks out from the rest of them, is it's some of the pouches are just normal burlap, sort of canvasy kind of pouches. This one, however, is very velvety and has like rich lined insides and has like a golden drawstring. When you open it, it contains 20 gold and a single fairly sized sapphire.
Chaz is going to take all of that.
So I'd like you to add 20 gold and 53 silver and a sapphire worth 50 gold to your.
Okay, let me do that before she does what she's gonna do next. So it was 50 gold.
A sapphire worth 50 gold.
Yeah.
And then 20 gold pieces, and then 53 silver.
Okay, so 53 silver. Sorry, I'm trying to do some maths. Takes that to 124. 20 gold takes that to 746. And one small sapphire worth 50 GP. All right, so she's got all that. Now she's going to take out Mouse's bug bag and find a moth.
Okay.
And put a moth in the lined bag and put it back.
Really?
Okay. The moth, dead and crispy as it is now encased in a very comfortable, velvety, lined, rich pouch. Oh my god. As you do this, Mouse looks very confused. As like you push the pouch back onto its original position, and Mouse actually follows it and looks at it and looks at you, as if, am I supposed to grab it out of the bag? Sort of question.
Jazz is just gonna like give Mouse a different bug and be like, "It's okay."
The Mouse gladly eats it.
Baby.
But yeah, Chaz is gonna. So is it just literally a one-roomed house? Hut
just
with
a
just
one
this
room.
stuff? No bed or anything?
No bed. The little fireplace with a copper pot and a table with a humongous tablecloth on it.
Chaz is gonna lift up the edge of the tablecloth and look under the table.
You look under the table and you're greeted by those scandalous table legs. Notably, though, you notice some etchings in the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems to cover the circumference of the table. Like, the tablecloth is like conveniently covering the rest of the design.
Does she know what they mean? Like, are they in a language she can read?
You recognize them as magical ruins of some form. However, I actually need you to roll a history check for me quickly.
That's in or with int.
History int.
So that is. It doesn't matter anyway. They're both +2. That is 18.
18. You remember a lot of your life wanting to keep an eye out for these things because these are teleportation circles, long disused due to very many happenings with magic and the like in the past. And to your knowledge, they have been virtually outlawed and or destroyed, but some do remain, according to some talk. And so this is your first time seeing one up close, as far as you know.
Is there anything that tells me where it goes?
There is some etchings that some writing that should be able to tell you what exactly, but while it's currently covered by the table and the tablecloth, you won't be able to see.
Is there anything on the table?
On the table, no, just a god-awful tablecloth and dust.
Chaz is just going to grab a couple of things, put them on the table, and be like, I wonder if I could take the tablecloth off while the stuff is still on the table.
You are free to try. Honestly, would you like to try this, Chaz?
I would like to try.
Okay, I'd like you to roll first a...
Chaz, in a very serious situation, can I make this naked?
Okay, so I'd like you to roll a dexterity.
14.
You manage to tug the cloth off in the one swift movement, and some of the objects stay on. However, some of the others that got caught in some of the folds do sort of topple over, sort of making a small clanking noise as it falls off the table. But 3 of the 5 items you put on stayed on, so you think that's a win in your favor.
She's just like, I'm glad no one was around to see that 2 didn't stay on.
Mouse sort of hoots from your side.
She's just gonna like now have a closer look at the runes. Like, does she actually have to move the table, or is just moving the table leg enough?
You may have to move the table because like the tablecloth, sorry, not tablecloth, the table legs itself is sort of like on some of the writing itself. So
All right. First of all, she's going to check to see if she moves the table, will it do anything, like activate anything?
when you move the table, the sound of wood scraping against the floor is all that occurs.
All right. Well, she's going to move the table out of the way so she can see what's going on.
When you reveal the table, when you reveal the etching on the ground, it is a circle about 1.25 meters in diameter, and the writing is in is written in Celestial. You can immediately identify the Celestial from your friends. Sort of language dickery. I can't actually remember. Does Chaz know Celestial?
She's got a little bit.
She stole the
Nice.
book from Vic when he was trying to learn it.
Okay then. Yes. Okay. All right. So, most of the words escape you at this point, but some of the glyphs do call to you a bit. There's a certain icon that's sort of written one of the ley lines of the circle, if you will, and it looks to be a small shield and a line dragging up from the shield, and then a small dot. You figure that's sort of a shortcut way of saying where the location might be. I'd like you to throw an intelligence check if you want to think. If you want to think.
First 17 of the night, so 19.
Nice. You recognize some of the really old iconography of some of the cities, and the shield has always been one that pertained to Orasnia.
Okay. She's like, why does Erasnia seem familiar?
Bless. I've only had like a human ranting about it, but you know,
She's got a poor memory. She's got a poor memory.
Oh, sorry. Are you stepping in the circle by any chance, or are you just sort of like studying it from the
outside?
Peripheral. Okay.
From the outside.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, but what else would you like to do with this discovery?
Does she know like where she is? Apart from Rope Bridge?
You have an inkling that you're somewhere still near Red Throne. Not necessarily in Red Throne, but the mountain range, when you looked at it, was familiar enough to you that you're along the Red Mountain Range. The Red Range.
Okay.
What did I call it?
Chaz is just going to make a note that this place exists, and she's going to go outside and have a look, see if she can see Red Throne City anywhere. Because she's like, there's probably something that I've forgotten.
There is a tower, sort of a cylindrical looking tower in the distance that strikes you as familiar. It does seem to be one of the structures that sort of stick out of Red Throne, despite its sort of underground structure.
All right.
And just following down that, you can also see the small fort village of Basog.
Okay. Is there any way for her to get to Red Throne apart from going through the cave at this point?
You could try climbing down, skyrimming downwards, as it were. But apart from that, the only other exit from here would be that particular cave.
All right. She's actually going to leave the circle as it is, and she's going to see if she can make her way back to Red Throne, maybe through the cave, if it is actually a cave, like a tunnel. Can she just have a look, see if it's like a tunnel or if it's a cave?
When you peek your head through, what the light that does shine through into it, seems to be a tunnel, and it looks to be a natural one. So it is a little bit like varying size. So it's like tight squeeze and wide and tight squeeze, etc. So there's a bit of a turn, so you can't quite tell where it goes, but it seems to be leading back towards Red Throne.
Okay. So she's gonna go through the tunnel and start heading back towards Red Throne, so she can go back to the inn and see if she's got any of her stuff.
Okay.
And pick it up.
Okay.
It's a bit quieter.
Okay. You. Oh wait, no.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's right. First, I'd like you to roll a survival check for me, Chaz.
Survival is plus wisdom. She got 18.
Okay. Before long, you actually manage to find yourself somewhere familiar amongst the caves. The tunnel system. It ends up going somewhere, opening up to an area. Wait, did you actually go there? Was Chaz there? Sorry. When you guys are chasing, Victor through the caves, was Chaz there?
Yes.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
the
That was the
whole
hidden
thing
door
with the
thing.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had difficulties with doors.
Yes. Okay. The tunnel you're following opens up to a small, slightly worrying drop down into a very familiar space. Recognize this as the large cave that the stone slab corridor opened up to into. Your overall goal is to get back to Red Throne. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, if I recall correctly, this when you reach this particular like massive chamber, you recognize this as one of the places that opens back up to Darthoon.
Okay.
So, would you like to keep making your way back to Red Throne, or go to Darthoon?
She doesn't know where the others are. She's going back to her throne. Because that's where she believes the others are.
I left you a
Did
message,
Vic?
God damn it.
Did Vic,
Vic
leave
left
a message
her a
with
message back at the inn.
With the bartender, yeah.
She doesn't know where they are.
the X-ray one, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just checking. No, it wasn't the other one from the entrance.
Yeah.
And before long, you exit back out to Darthoon, and I'm going to guess you're going to make your way back up to Red Throne.
Yeah.
When you do make your way out of Darthoon, someone catches up to you quickly. You hear sort of footsteps growing increasingly loud as it sort of seems to, with intent, going towards you. They don't really address you so much as, hey, you, the one walking away.
She can't keep walking.
The horns, tail, dress,
That's racist.
leather.
Jesus.
A nice boy.
I'm sorry. Your friends, people, your guards, an orc. You have an orc guard.
She's just gonna be she's gonna look back and she's be like, I'm gonna go to Red Throne.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I really don't know your name, but it's just I remember seeing you being your entourage where you're yeah, I have a message to pass on to
Yes.
the one the little drow looking elf called Morty.
Yes.
Yeah, just got a message from Red Throne from the the poor courier seems to be like stuttering now. Paragon message important. He seems to be withering under your like
Go on.
you letter paper. I have a paper. Hold on. And he finally remembers the satchel he has at his side and whips
Oh
out
my
a
God.
small sort of folded over papers. Like your eyes, their eyes, your eyes, your friends. Not friends? Not friends. Husbands, not family, brothers.
Jesus.
Not brothers. He seems to be trying to figure out what the rest of them are to you. And
Chaz's tail is just
clumsily.
like starting to whip back and forth with impatience.
Oh shit.
I'm
Well-
sorry. I'm sorry. Just the people you go with to things here have the paper. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
And he stretches out the hand and sort of hands it over to you.
Jesus.
She's just gonna look at him, raise an eyebrow, and say, "Stay."
Yes.
And she's gonna open and read the note.
Okay. It seems to be a letter from the Paragon. The first paragraph is just extolling the things that the party has done for Breton, etc. and it seems to be coupled with a familiar name. It seems apparently one of your previous companions, I believe called Hecamus, seems to have forwarded a note of alarm with regards to Mordecai. Apparently, there seems to be where's the type letter? Hold on. There is now an official bounty for Mordecai Rock's head in both Erasnia and the feudal lands of Lord Aldor Tor. This has reached Hecamus's ears because Hecamus has gone traveling a bit further west to some of the towns closer, more to the Avilan side of the continent, and the bounty is starting to reach there. So apparently Hecamus wanted to forward a word of warning to Mordecai to keep his head low.
Chaz is gonna tuck the note away and just be like, well, I've got to get back to Retro.
Okay. Can I go? Do I
She's just gonna be like, bye, and walk off.
Bye, Bench.
Oh, okay. I'm also going. Sort of like takes a tentative foot
God.
out from staying still. All right.
Can I just roll like to see whether Chaz can resist what she wants to do?
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, she can, damn it.
Damn it.
Oh no, I have self-control.
Dang it, Cass is self-control.
If I'd rolled like too low, like I got a 14 plus 2, it's enough. 16. But if I roll too low, she's just gonna be like, stay still and keep walking.
Oh my god, Cass!
Oh my god.
She's just gonna keep going to Red Throne.
Okay.
Oh shit, she should have stolen the pigeons.
Jesus Christ!
I love Chaz. Oh my god, I missed her so much. Holy shit.
Okay.
That would have been useful.
God. Well, at least worth something.
Mouse has friends.
Like, Chaz comes back with Mouse on her shoulder and like just armfuls of pigeons. Like,
Can I rank her that she tried to steal the pigeons?
Oh my god, what wouldn't you steal, Chaz? What would you not steal? Where do you draw the line?
Fedoras.
Yeah.
probably.
So you
Yes.
begin your journey back towards
Sorry.
that's right. You begin your journey back towards Red Throne. And you start your journey back there. So we'll sort of meanwhile over to the bullshitters. Is that fine with you, Kat?
Yep.
Okay. So the city of Dunlea within your sights. You see the road lead in towards the town gate. Yes, the town gate.
It's a little quiet. Even for the morning. Oh. Baker should be baking, the farmer should be farming. There should be people sounds.
Glenn, roll perspective with perspective? I mean
Perception, do you mean?
perspective.
Okay.
Give me 2 vanishing points. No, okay, no.
God.
New
New skill rolls. Perspective and hindsight.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Does that mean
roll
the feet
perspective.
walk in someone else's shoes would be available?
I'd like you to
That's a
roll
good
this at
skill.
advantage.
Oh, thank God.
That's not a good sign.
That says
Oh,
everything. I
no,
think.
well, my first one wasn't good, but my second one was okay. I've got 18.
You are acutely aware that despite the sun shining down on what should be a pretty idyllic looking town, there is a strange coldness in the air, a lifelessness.
Oh.
You are now very aware of how the fauna and the flora. Sorry, I keep calling it the flora and fauna. The vegetation and plants and the like nearby, they seem to be withered and dry,
Oh.
which is to some extent part of expected for the oncoming winter, but it should not have without without winter being in full swing, the fact that they have already withered to such an advanced state.
Is it
is
something
worrying.
I noticed? Is it something I noticed almost as a sudden thing, or is it gradually getting worse as we move further on?
Gradually, it is something that gradually gets worse.
Okay.
Outside, there's just spots, the sort of dead spots of where the plant life, the grass, just sort of like looks dry and unhealthy. And as you get closer, the one thing you do notice is you do pass by a open farming field, and the crops are all but crunchy looking and unhealthy.
Okay. Just kind of expecting that Vic will probably understand as well. I'm just going to sort of get his attention, just sort of gesture around as a general idea of what, you just described.
Yes, there's outside.
I'll just give him a
Cute
thumbs up.
observation.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I know?
Fuck.
Go for it.
It would help if I had this open. Durr.
Derp.
15.
You are pretty aware of how it sort of sticks out most because of the farm field you just passed by, how the crops itself is actually quite dead looking, and it looks like it was supposed to be in full bloom, but it doesn't seem to be flourishing at all.
I'm gonna nod at Glenn to make sure that he knows that I know what he's talking about, unless he doesn't know that I know what he's talking about, in which case he's gonna get very confused.
I got it.
He knows that you know.
He's like,
Just for the just for the most part right now, Glenn's just going to be a bit quiet, introspective, just kind of thinking about the fact that Vic's had what I assume is visions as well, and just he seemed to handle a lot better than I did, and just mulling over the whole kind of situation.
Vic, squinting, still at the tail end of a migraine. I ain't handling shit, son. Well, Vic is gonna
Anyway.
ask Morty, hey Morty,
Hmm?
what season is it?
It should. Oh. It should be harvest
That shit
soon.
dead.
Maybe it's a different type of wheat with a
I
different
don't think
color.
dead wheat is something that people tend to eat.
Is it dead because it's dead, or is it dead because it died? No. Let me rephrase that.
That means the same thing, Morty.
No, it's like, did something kill it, or was it never alive?
Can I do a check to see? Can I roll a nature or
Natura.
something?
Natur.
Yes, natura.
Vitals check on the wheat.
A medicine check on the wheat. Can I CPR the wheat back to life?
Oh my god.
Sure, blow the wheat.
Bring me back to life.
No.
24.
You are actually quite familiar with this type of wheat. It's pretty bread and butter for a lot of the farmlands
It's
surrounding
definitely bread.
Pennsylvania and onwards. Bread! And
Ugh, gluten.
and yeah, if anything, it should be growing quite healthily in this land. You should call it this.
This land.
Morty, Vic's gonna throw an eye.
Ah,
Morty, tell me what you see over there, from over to there. What do you see? And he's like gesturing at like the farmland.
Everything the light
it
touches.
touches.
Everything the light touches is dead as shit.
Sorry.
That's exactly what I thought of.
That's what I was thinking too. He's like, Morty, what do you see here, mate? What do you see?
Soon all
Vast
these
tracts
eyes
of
yours.
land.
But I
Vast
don't
tracts
want
of land that are full of dead plants.
God.
What? It. What could kill wheat? All they need is like dirt
Judging-
and water, right?
Well, no, judging from how tall the weed is, killed like halfway through the cycle. So it's been dead for a bit.
Okay. Timing wise, that makes sense with regards to when I made the deal with with Cher.
Oh.
With Shar.
Do you believe in life after death?
Damn it.
Strong enough.
Does it make sense?
I got you, babe.
Does that make sense timing wise? Like doing the math in my head.
Oh.
Investigation me.
Oh, bless.
Don't fuck me over. I'm going to prison if you are. It's fucked me over. It's 4. Yeah, 4. Wait, plus investigation is 1. Great, 5.
I mean, maybe. You're pretty sure wheat takes a long time to grow.
So, wait.
Oh
So
my
does that
God.
mean? Does that mean this is before we talked to Shar?
A little bit, probably.
So she was already here before I sent her here.
It might not be her. There might be Morty. For judging from what you've told us about your hometown, it's pretty fucked.
That's harsh.
That's harsh.
Can
I'm not
I?
here to be nice. I'm here to be drunk and.
Is it wheat or buckwheat? Because if it was buckwheat, they could be Shah's bucks because they're dead because of Shah.
Oh.
Can I just
I'm judging
kill
you.
Chad from far away? Is there some way I can teleport to Chad, stab her, and then leave?
You may think very, very hard and hope that your migraine passes to her suddenly.
Fucking.
I just want to. I'd like to dismount one of the horses and just quickly like go out.
How many are you riding?
And I want to try and cast.
them.
I'd like to try and
Straight across.
cast plant growth around the area just to see how, like, the magical sort of growth of the plants as a very quick thing might sort of affect them.
Sorry, you're going through with it?
As long as no one stops me. Yes.
Okay.
You will
the
startle
plant
the fuck out of Morty though. He's back to being afraid of
Plants.
things again.
The plants, they flourish under the arcane ministrations of your druidic power.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't feel any kind of force sort of hindering that in any way.
You feel something leeching off of the life.
Okay. I can definitely tell you all that this isn't due to just lack of care. Something else is affecting this. Just we haven't seen any people, so I thought it would be worth checking that.
They just forgot to tend their.
You don't just forget to tend an entire season's worth of wheat, Morty.
I don't.
Not for as long as it's been left unattended.
But Dunlea's always very busy. What's? Well, we won't get answers here. There must be someone inside the city. We can talk to them. There's gotta be some answers in there, right?
I'll nod at Morty as we go back.
They're riding in now at this point.
As you approach and sort of pass the gates of the official sort of lay of the map of the town, you conveniently find a map of the town on there. It seems a little bit weathered and uncared for, but I shall toss it into the thing.
You are here.
You are here. For plot
You
points,
are
here and
but
here
it's
and
just
here.
Buffy standing in front of the Hellmouth.
You'll never want to leave.
There's like a hastily handwritten note. Leave while you still can.
Abandon the
Trails
hope,
of-
all you enter here.
It
Oh
says
God, yeah.
castle, but that's actually the manor.
Mana.
Particular familiar.
Okay, I do need a we are here. Where are we?
You see where it says gate? You guys are just passing by that,
Okay.
like along that little road.
Sorry. Oh, that road. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good. Right.
Dang it.
So we're heading towards the market square right now.
And we still haven't seen a single sign of life, have we? I'm not even talking
No.
about like people. I'm talking about a pigeon, a cat, a dog, a cockroach. God.
The sky is clear. The roads also clear.
Very like his voice is like shaky and stuff. We've got Morty going, "Hello? Anyone here?"
The
Your
sky
voice
is
bounces
clear.
off.
The sky is clear. The roads are clear. Morty's conscience, not so much.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Just dragged.
How do
him
the
forward.
the buildings that we pass look? Do they look like there's been any sort of struggling ransacking? Are any of the doors left wide open?
Some of the doors look closed. Like most of the egresses to the houses look closed and sealed of some form. They haven't been like boarded up or anything, but they're closed. There are a bunch of sort of notices on the front doors. Some of them, but
Okay.
you don't even see any sign of like commerce or any.
I can
movement.
read now. I want to read one of the notes.
Okay, well, let's hop off the horses and grab one of the notes then.
One of the notes that Vic approaches and sort of like looks at, it seems to be an eviction notice.
Bitch.
Oh,
Eviction.
Who's it
What-
signed
what?
by?
It is signed by the Council of Dunlea and super signed by
Super sign.
a certain Lord Aldor.
Hey, Morty.
Yeah?
You're right. Lord Outlaw's a fucking bitch.
Fire is hot, water is wet. He's a bitch, yes.
This
but
is an eviction notice.
what?
a what now?
Yeah.
You've got like Morty sort of taking it from him, from Vic, like going, what are the details? Why are they being evicted? Or
Failure to pay proper tithe to the Lord,
Hi.
as well as apparently what was the word? Fuck. Aggression against authority, and it basically seems to be kicking out the person for being a little annoyed at the situation, it would seem.
So are all the notices the same?
With varying reasons, but all of them do mention a failure to pay taxes.
This is
What was the
taxes.
tax rates the last time you were here? Were they
Reasonable for a town this size. I mean, but was it though?
Hold
You've
on.
got like sort of Morty going, wait, is it actually?
Yes,
Mind you,
they
Morty's
were-
idea of reasonable is a bit.
Yeah, Morty's a rich white boy.
Yes.
Yeah. That said, though, it was reasonable to the fact that it was something that one could pay and not worry too much about the roof over the head. However, some of the details, some of the other notices around you detail some of the arrears in taxes, and it would seem as though the tax rate has gone ridiculously up.
Okay, then
In the
you've
months that you
yeah.
had been
gone.
in the months that you had left, it had gone from reasonable sort of numbers to now ridiculous, nearly half income going straight to Aldor.
Okay, wait. This is wrong. That's not 50%. So you've got like Morty sort of doing math, like going, why is he taxing them half of their? These are ridiculous amounts of money. Why would you tax people this much money?
Can someone explain to me? Can someone? They need to pay the Lord to live somewhere.
Well, the Lord's supposed to provide them with protection and support.
And roads and
And upkeep of
all
the
your
public
civic stuff.
property.
Well,
Yeah.
the Lord provides that, and they give, and people give him money for this, which is usually a small stipend, to be honest, for a
It's
city.
usually no more than 10% of, and this is insane.
Yeah, this is 50, 60. Like this is more than half of what they'll be making, even on a
I mean,
ridiculous.
that being said, I've never actually paid taxes in my life, so
No, this is gouging. This is what is okay. Again, we go back. Lord Aldor is an asshole, but he was a fairly rich asshole. He didn't need to do this.
yeah. But shouldn't the council have kept him in check?
What do I remember of the council, though? If I do know them.
You personally never actually met the council, but you do remember them being prominent guests the last time you were at
The party.
at the
Capital
party.
letters. The party.
And they all seem to be well, in your opinion, I suppose, brown nosy towards Aldor.
Look, if the council did their jobs, they might have stopped Aldor.
That's a big if, though.
No, but to be fair, most of their noses are halfway into Aldor's asshole anyway. But there would have been a large uproar. We should have heard. This is ridiculous.
Not unless he was sharing the profits with them. And that also doesn't make sense, because if you keep evicting all of your tenants, eventually... Anyway.
You have no tenants. You're right. Where would
I
these
want to
people
go further in and see what the situation's like at the market.
Okay then.
I feel like we're making quite a social statement about housing today.
It was the avocados.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like everybody has an avocado tree and
Okay, just for context, Axelrod is now leashed and walking along beside me.
Okay, so who's going ahead to peep around to the market area? Just Glenn?
I'm sticking with Morty.
Wow.
I wanted to ask a cat if he can keep a nose out for still alive in the place that isn't ours.
A cat is currently sniffing the air, but just keeping a nose out.
Thanks, buddy. It's like Scooby-Doo, but like wine mum Scooby-Doo.
A cat does this thing where he goes to your leg and he does sort of like a bite, like he doesn't bite down, but he sort of goes like gums you a little, like and then sort of goes and then goes back to sniffing.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we've got us wandering, and you've got Morty muttering. This was a bustling town. They like in the mornings they would have people moving.
Here goes the baker with his tray, like always.
I would walk through town and sing.
Amazing.
But this isn't right. For what Aldor must have been, these are his people. Wouldn't he have cared? He should have cared.
Morty, you're assuming that the man has a conscience.
But these are his people. He should care. That's why he's the
Morty,
Lord.
he killed a little girl for accepting you.
What?
He did what?
That's the story Vic got from Morty and
Isra?
Vistra. When they were talking about, because remember how that
See.
girl's sister was
Yeah.
going to go and talk to Morty and basically accused him of getting a little sister killed.
Oh.
I don't know that. All we wanted was. We thought we're doing the right thing, and we were very young and stupid. There we go.
Look, let's be real. If somebody's keeping their own citizens, the epitome of kindness and fairness.
Okay. Those of you peeking around at the market, I'd like you to roll a perception check quickly.
Dear God.
First,
Okay.
I need to rescue my peas.
New
Oh,
dice.
that's not good.
New dice. Oh, for God's sake. Well, okay. Look, okay. Perception.
Yeah.
Perception.
No shit.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Oof.
12.
People
Sorry, 13.
going to the
13.
market.
16.
Okay.
Hold on.
Both Morty and Vic, you see some So no, first you
20.
hear something rattle.
Kedra's doing a
Towards-
roll as well.
Oh, right there.
Okay, sorry.
Keter
What
knows as
roll
well.
you get?
22.
Oh yeah,
Higher than
definitely.
us.
Okay,
I
Okay.
only made 7,
Okay.
so
that's right. You're a little
Glenn.
distracted by the lifelessness of the place.
By his own
Um,
belly button.
Morty, Vic, you hear something rattling towards the center of the market. And Kedra, you're the first one to sort of follow the sound, and your eyes sort of catch on a figure darting from the middle of the market between boxes and sort of abandoned carts into an alleyway towards where it says craftsman in the bottom right.
Morty books it.
Okay, what does the figure look like?
Small, like
Okay.
waist high small.
By
Okay.
Peter.
Morty's gonna run now towards where that's just disappeared to.
Morty, wait! She's gonna follow
I'll be
him.
following wherever Morty's running. Yeah.
Vic, are you just
Vic's
standing
just
there
like-
looking?
He's just like, why are you running off after somebody who obviously doesn't? Why are you scaring this poor person? But he's gonna follow them.
I'd like y'all to those following after, please roll for me an athletics. Yeah, athletics, please.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, okay then.
Athletics?
That's 5.
26.
Plus 5. Okay, so that's
19.
so. Okay, sorry. 17 plus 5 is 22. Yeah.
22. Yeah.
14.
Sorry, again, Neme, what you roll?
26.
Soldiers. Yeah.
Okay. Those of you got 20 and above, you are hot on the tail of this strange small figure darting away from you, and she makes a few turns, but you manage to catch up to them. The rest of you sort of like eventually lag behind. You've managed to sort of stop her in an alleyway.
Kirika's just
They
like,
currently
yeah.
they currently have a cloak up, and as soon as they realize that they're trapped in an alleyway, they sort of like fall on their ass and sort of like skid, like push themselves backwards on their legs and up against the box, and
Aw.
they sort of put off defensive arms.
No. Wait. No, sorry. No. Look, hi. So he just comes down to his knees and sort of goes, "No, wait. We just want answers. We're not gonna hurt you. I swear."
Morty, you see, they refuse to sort of like put their hands down. They're just sort of you see their arms are like just quivering in place, and they're not looking up, and they got the hood up. But you immediately recognize something on their wrist.
What is it? What is it?
It looks to be a. All right, Morty, you recognize these bracelets. You saw them once several months ago in a particularly distressing sweatshop underneath a certain manor. And as per expected, a certain house symbol is emblazoned on it.
Is it Aldor's house?
The House of Tor.
Did you come from the manor from Lord Aldor?
They
Get out.
seem intent. They seem intent on the Jabberwocky logic of if they can't see you, you can't harm them.
Okay, the player does not remember. I'm gonna assume maybe Morty does remember the name of the girl that they fed the cheese to. And that's the little sister of the healer from Avila.
Yeah, the
This-
sister mentioned her sister's name.
Yes, you can throw a generic intelligence check for me to remember that, but that is not this. The little sister is a tiefling. This
Yeah.
is not the tiefling.
That's okay. Intelligence is +1, so that's 16. Does
Mhm.
Morty remember her name?
They eventually put their arms
No,
down just a little
no.
bit. to
I
peek
no,
over.
not that. I want to know. I need to know whether Morty remembers that girl's name. I know that this is not that girl. That girl's a tiefling.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you do remember. Her name was Shari.
Uh,
They peek over their arm a little, and they peek out from behind the hood, and they sort of narrow their eyes at you and sort of mild recognize, but they're still very much highly defensive. They don't respond to. They don't seem to be willing to respond to anything you're saying.
it's if you're from the house, that monsters place. I have a
Have
friend
Vic
there.
and Glenn. Sorry.
Sorry. I have a friend there. Her name's Shari. Do you know her?
At this point, she puts her arms a little bit further down and narrows her eyes at you again. Now that her face is in full view, you recognize this. She was the halfling who offered you the cheese. The cheese platter.
You're one of Aldar's servants. What the fuck? Were you magic? Wait.
At this point, Vic and Glenn will have caught up.
And
Needs
Vic's just
more
looking at him
cardio.
like, what did you eat this morning? Did you eat more than like a handful of berries, or have you got to start farting? I want you over there, mate. Apparently, the drow are very Australian. Which I apologize.
That explains so much.
They are underground, so Australia is at the bottom part of the world, so technically the drow could be D&D Australians.
But don't you know
Oh my
Australia
They do
doesn't
have a lot of
exist?
spiders.
That's what I wanted to say. Big ass fucking spiders.
I was just,
Oh.
but don't you know Australia doesn't exist?
We were made up.
Fucking
Yeah, we made up to confuse Americans.
Oh god.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just gonna be like, hey, Morty, Kidra, who this?
This she's
It seems like Morty knows them.
she's one of Aldar's servants.
Vic's just gonna lean around Morty. Would it help for you to know that we hate that guy?
Oh god, no.
She-
The last time you saw me, I was working for him. That changed. He tried to kill me. I got better.
Yeah, he's a dick.
I got better.
And then she furrows her brows even more. She was like, "Or you're not sent by him?"
No, we're
God,
gonna stab him
no.
in the head.
Yes.
Gently.
Preferably, if we're gonna get hurt. He points to Kidra to hit him with the big hammer.
What?
Hi.
Why are you looking for Shari?
No,
And
Technically not looking for who's Shari.
I know her. I know her sister. The
Oh,
healer.
okay.
I was
Okay.
hoping to bring her home. Avila.
yeah, she asked us to check on her. But also, we're also here because Alda's a dick.
She looks like she's about to cry now. Like you see the tears like well up suddenly. Like,
Oh.
Is this a bad thing?
just we didn't know who to go to, and I just got out. I just got out, and everything's gone so wrong. I can take you to her, but she looks like unsure at the rest of you. So
Kidra is going to take her red throne cloak off and like slowly approach and like gently wrap it around the
Big
halfling.
orc lady coming towards tiny
Yes.
halfling.
She puts the cloak over her forearm so it's not like she's coming at her with like this big blanket.
I'm going to catch you in my
Yeah. So it's like not as threatening, and she like hunches down a little bit so she doesn't fucking stand at the full 6'5".
the cloak is a veritable blanket on her, like a proper
Yes.
fucking build.
I mean,
But she sort of like tenses at your approach, but then you sort of like drape the cloak over her, and she just relaxes into it, and
it's
she looks back
okay.
up and goes, "If you're really here to stop everything, I can take you to Shari, and she can explain everything."
Please
Is
do
it
That
that.
would be awesome.
That would be very helpful.
Do you need us to be very,
Okay, we
very
just-
quiet?
Just avoid the market, the open space in the market for now. Just follow the side roads and the alleys. I
Okay.
can take
Give,
you to.
be not suspicious.
Give me a minute. Vic's going to go back to the and he's going to tell the others what he's doing. He wants to go back to the horses and get them somewhere outside of town so that they're not in a position
Give this
that
away.
to not even give us away, just to keep the horses safe.
Yeah.
He's not going to
Are
tie them
you-
down or anything, but he's
So
going to.
are you telling this as well to the
Yeah.
Halfling.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure. Just don't tie them down too close to the town when night falls. She just sort of shakes her head.
When night falls.
Okay. On that ominous note, I'm going to go and sort that out. And he's going to ask Cat to stay, and if Halfling needs hugs, he's hug-sized and also rideable if she needs a trip. But he's going to go back to the horses, and he's not going to stake them down, but he's going to speak to animals and explain the situation to them,
Okay.
and just be like, "Look, I'll come and find you guys when we need you, but for the most part, just stay safe and out of the way."
Immediately Gina
Gina
pipes up. Oh my god, I knew there was something wrong here. I was telling you, John.
I love Gina.
Oh my god, I told you I
Like,
had a bad feeling about this place, but you're just like, oh, well, we're just leaving to another place. And no, you never listen to me. Oh my god.
Hey, Gina,
So
darling,
what?
Gina.
What?
He's going to put his arm around the draft horse. She's in charge. But you're each getting a sugar cube before I go. She's in charge
Strike a
because
hard
she's
bargain.
bigger and she's bigger and can smash.
You
I-
you drive a really hard bargain.
Yeah.
But okay, fine. I'll let the little one be in charge, but I'm just saying I had a bad feeling about this place. No one was listening to me. Like the entire time I was tossing my head back because I wanted you to know I didn't want to go anywhere close. But no one paid attention. So now
Gina,
you guys
we're going to
tell me
have to.
later.
Gina, we're gonna have to pay attention to your intuition.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
future
I don't
because
just
you
like
have
flip my
such a
head
good
back
way
because my
with
mane is gorgeous.
words. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
nice, hey. But like next time we'll do some
it's
braiding
skippy.
so that you can like put bells in it, and when you jingle the bells, we'll know that you don't want to go to a place.
Good. That's a
also
good
sounds
idea. All right. Well, I'll take you up with that.
We'll do
But
that
right
next
now, I
time.
also don't want to die. So,
Well,
you
I don't want you
sure
to die
you want
either, which is why I'm not like putting.
well, fine. Okay, we're in agreement then. Why are you arguing? Why are you yelling at me?
No, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just speaking forcefully, be out of concern.
Well, speak less forcefully because you make it sound like you're angry at me when my
He's going
life
to
is in
just
danger
take a
too.
sugar cube and just put it in her mouth. Just like
She eats it without question, but then she threw knowledge like, this is bribery, and that is like ethically questionable.
he's going to get a second sugar
love
cube
her.
and just put it in her mouth.
I love it. Also, I just imagine like a horse making this face. Yeah.
It's Barney. Yeah, Vic's gonna make sure that they're all safe and make sure that the draft horse knows that he's not gonna leave them behind as well, because she was totally worried about that from last time.
They all eventually sort of, understand the plan and sort of just loiter wherever you lead them to. So
He is gonna take their saddles off the saddles tree. With a lot of their traveling gear. Not all of it,
Mhm.
but just like the regular camping gear and shit, because he has a
Mm.
really good camping.
gear. Sorry. sorry. So I'll stop. Anyway.
But he just wants to stash it up a tree so that, it isn't really easily from the ground.
Okay.
And he
alright.
is going to make a note of which tree he stashes it up, not like a chipmunk or a squirrel, because he's not that stupid. But
Okay.
squirrels legit just like the reason they steal so remember where they leave them. So
Okay. So consider all that tucked away and planned out.
okay, and then he's going to head back.
While Vic was away, you've got sort of Morty sort of like looking at the halfling. I never thought your name.
Hold on. I think forgotten as well.
Try to
One moment,
remember.
let me just
Try
try
to-
to remember. It's just been so long.
I'm in shock.
Kara. I'm in shock. Yeah. My name's Kara.
Can you spell your name? Okay.
Kara, okay.
Sarah, it's just what I don't understand is those things, those chains, bracelets. They only were on the ones that were trapped in the ones that were trapped. You were a servant in there. I never noticed them on you.
She's a little pained to mention, but she does. Things got bad, and when they got bad, they got worse. And then just recently, everything just got terrifying.
Ah, that you'd say things escalated quick.
Oh my god.
Everybody's just staring at Morty like,
Is Vic back? Can we go see Shari now?
you can feel the judgment from here.
Judgment.
Also, Kidra tries to be like a comforting presence for big, and like protective.
Big but gentle.
Yes,
Kara,
like a
But
Labrador.
gentle.
I was just wondering, who do we need to? What do we need to be careful of in the main square and at night? What comes?
Nothing. We tried to fight them off before, but nothing we had would work.
They're not
I think-
people.
I think they're ghosts.
So what you're saying is death comes.
Death came all over.
Oh god!
Oh god.
I can't!
Oh my
That's
god.
terrible.
God damn it, Gabriel.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they're ghosts, I think. But we just lost a couple of the other servants. We were out after sundown, and they just came up, and I just saw one of them literally wither in front of me. Too. And she's very distraught. She looks like she's on the
It's-
verge of like sobbing out.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's not talk about this now.
In the
Take
open.
us to Shari.
Yeah.
Take us to Shari. And let's get somewhere safe and we can talk about it with her.
Okay. So, Vic, are you back?
I have returned.
Okay.
Good.
So you return, and she seems to try to compose herself a bit more. She tightly winds the cloak back around her and her hood up. She goes, oh, this way we have to cross one of the roads, but if we just make it quick.
We can do quick.
Alright. So she
Kidra looks
says-
at Morty.
What? We can. I believe in you, Kidra.
If it helps any, we're really well versed in stacking ghosts.
Morty just
Okay.
quickly looks at Kidra again. Yeah, good at it. Yeah.
Kidra
If
looks
you
at
lead us, we'll protect you.
Oh, I take it we have to go and get our weapons ready, huh?
This is when we need Chaz. Please return. Be sneak.
Sneak in now, please.
Sneak in now.
No, wait. Doesn't Glenn have something to make us floating
Cast
black
light trace.
cloud?
No, I
That's
don't.
me.
Oh,
Darkness.
And Chaz.
Oh, not the
Chaz.
pass without a trace thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's not what you meant.
Yeah.
I don't have it prepared today.
Oh.
Fortunately, I just wasn't expecting to need it right away. Yeah.
Mhm. That's fine.
I have darkness, but it would look a little bit odd in the middle of a street. In the middle
Plus,
of
the
day.
darkness can't really move with us, can it?
No, unless
Ah.
I center it on a person.
Yeah. Plus, we can't see in it. I think.
No, you cannot.
We'll be very, very
Okay.
quiet and quick, and have our weapons.
Kara briefly describes to you where you need to go, and so you're just sort of like in one of the corner buildings of the craftsman and the bottom right craftsman area, and she says that you have to cross the market square into one of the northern, like the most, like that northernmost little block is where you guys need to go.
All right.
Mm.
Okay, it's not the castle, or manor, or place where final boss battle happened. Okay, so
Still, we probably need a stealth check for moving.
Yep. As soon as you guys start moving, I would actually like some stealth check.
okay, let's go.
Oh.
Okay, are we rolling stealth now?
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh, I'm not doing well today. 5.
8.
What are you complaining about with 14?
Still,
Vic.
I'm checking. 22.
she asked if we can do quick. We're doing quick.
Pick quick or quiet. We can't do
Do
both.
both. The last time we
Vic
were quiet,
seems
we
shocked.
were naked.
Kedra, I'm banging 2 pans together. I ain't got no sleep, cousin, y'all. You got no sleep.
You dart between buildings and take the alleys out of line of sight, at least with the main market area. And eventually you do make your way to that little northernmost building. It opens up to a field, but there's like sparse forest sort of like behind the castle. So to the northeast of that, there's a lot of forest. So basically that house is at the edge of where that forest starts. So eventually she just leads you in. There's a small path that leads up to this small little cabin looking area.
Mm.
And it looks just about as desolate as the rest of Dunlea. But eventually she sort of walks up to it. And she motions for you guys to stop at the periphery. So not the periphery, just right outside the grounds of the cabin. And she walks up to the door. From where you can see, she seems to sort of knock a little, a certain pattern out.
Before anything
And-
else,
Can I see if I can get a look at that pattern?
that what?
Yeah, perception me. Look at the pattern of the way she knocks.
23. All these good rolls are great, but they're going to be terrible when it comes to combat.
Yep.
That's when Kidra comes in.
So she smash, she grab and smash.
Strong.
She protect, but she also attack.
The pattern of knocks that you hear is basically 4 sharp ones and then 2 sort of longer ones. So basically, so instead of the door opening, there you see the curtain sort of pull back a little from one of the windows next to the door, and you see sort of like do a small wave. The door then sort of opens a crack, and she looks to be sharing a small conversation with the person.
Sorry.
see her
While
sort of,
this
like, look over her
while this is
shoulder.
going on, can
Yeah?
we just quickly? Can Morty just quickly take a look backwards where they came from? See whether they are
Yes,
being
you may.
followed. What do you want me to roll for that?
Perception.
5, 15.
The coast seems clear.
That
I'm
was
looking
a
south.
Bad reference. That's a mean book.
All is
Oh,
quiet.
Quiet on the Western Front.
The Western
is a
Front.
mean book.
Yeah, it's a terrible book.
It's not a terrible book. It's a well-written book. It's just
Yeah.
mean.
It's terrible that way. It's good, but it's terrible.
Anyway, so she seems to share a small conversation with whoever opened the door, and you see her look over her shoulder and make a few gestures in your direction. And before long, the door closes again, and she gestures you all to come across closer to the cabin area, like to come in.
Okay, Morty
will do this
sheaths
then.
his weapons. He puts them in the holster now. Both weapons.
All right. So the door opens again. This time, Kara sort of opens it, and she sort of like quickly goes in, and presumably you all follow suit. It's
Yes.
a very small area at the moment. It's pretty much bare of much furniture except for maybe one chair and just a bunch of boxes put together. And you see it sort of leads further into the little cabin. There's a little corridor leading further in, rather. And she sort of gestures you, Kara, just for you to follow. There seems to be also another person up ahead. And they're also cloaked, so you can't quite tell who it is. Before long, it reach the end of a corridor, and they pull up a sort of trap door, and there looks to be a small staircase leading down, like a small ladders. That's it.
Oh boy.
Stair ladder, step
This is all delightfully ominous.
ladder. That's it.
Just in case, it's not clear. I'm human. I don't see well in the darkness. Glenn, my love, do you mind if I just hold on to you when we go down there?
Of course.
Okay, good.
No. Fall and die.
Yeah, I didn't have dark vision set up today either, so.
That's
all
all
right.
right.
I've got you.
So presumably y'all descend the relatively short step ladder, going down step ladders, staircase, whatever. Fuck off.
Ladder.
The
Just
descending
ladder.
machine.
Ladder. The descending
Tool.
descending slope.
The descending apparatus.
And it opens up to what looks like a small sort of like carved out, like it looks like it was like dug and carved out underneath this cabin. As soon as you come down there, there's a couple of other figures, and they all eyeing you warily as you approach. It is dimly lit. It's dim light, so there is some lighting.
Good.
And they all seem a little bit startled at your appearance, for one.
Big waves.
Someone walks up to you and embraces Kara very sort of like tightly. And you hear Kara sort of explain what had happened. And she points you out. The person she was hugging sort of tugs down a cloak, and you recognize her. This is Shari.
Hey,
Oh, baby.
hello. I take it your sister didn't find you, huh?
She sort of gulps and shakes her head. I'm surprised to see you here. I remember you being under Aldor's service, but you say you're also here to assassinate him?
Assassinate seems a very delicate word for what we want to do.
No, we're just here to smash him in the
Yeah.
head with an hammer that she's holding.
I guess I'm here to fix what I couldn't do before. We tried to find a way to free you. Failed. I failed.
Oh, there is plenty of failure to share, so do not feel as though you're alone in this burden. Perhaps I should explain to you exactly what has happened, but since you left, Kara has told me exactly what had happened. So, and I also heard from other of the household servants exactly what transpired that night, so
Yeah, when he sent
Then-
one of his assassins to try to kill us in the garden, that was fun.
yes, Lord Aldor has been under stress at that time, but he did not handle it very well.
Stress! Him! Ah. Right.
Far be it for me to say what a noble of his standing
There
should
is
or
nothing
shouldn't
noble about that
understand.
man.
Agreed, but as it is, this is where we are now. I can explain to you as best I can what you want to know. So Kara tells me you have questions, so I can answer if you want to ask.
Where is everybody? There was a bustling town up there. Dunlea was Dunlea. There was people here, lives. Lives,
Bless you.
commerce.
There was unfortunately, Lord Aldor made the wrong choices with his businesses. Um, if you recall where I used to work, or slave as the proper term really, I, we were manufacturing weapons.
Magical.
Magical weapons, yes. These weapons Lord Aldor was to sell to various people who would be interested in purchasing, which was a large amount of revenue for his for Dunlea's prosperity and why it thrived for a short moment. However, it would seem as though he has made the wrong bargains with the wrong people, and it pressured him to make stronger weapons. But not all of us are talented mages, so we could not always work around the clock without eating, without sleeping, to give him what he wanted, and he sought sources elsewhere. Because of this, there was pressure on Dunlea's trade out, and he started asking more of Dunlea's people, and eventually people either left of their own accord or took their business elsewhere. Some who were too resolute to leave, he eventually chased away because of, well, he needed more funds for whatever this new source he found for new weapons to sell, and
All
we
right.
could not catch up. And
All right. I'm sorry. Please continue. I'm glad they left, not something worse.
well, I'm getting to that. There were some people who stayed despite it all, some people who had businesses and the like who managed to be able to truck through most of Lord Aldor's ridiculous taxes. However, it came to a head about a few weeks ago where all of a sudden Lord Aldor changed. He was normal,
Hey.
yes, taskmaster, yes, he was cruel, and suddenly he seemed as though possessed by something, and he he wanted to find some form of new source of magic to make stronger weapons, and he found it. But he was always responsible with his, so to speak, responsible with trying to balance between a dwindling population of his city. I believe it started when he made an excursion to a town nearby, Dor, Dor,
Haldor.
Dor, Taldor, yes, that's it. And when he came back from there, suddenly he was changed, and he changed all his focus to Taldor. Now, I don't know what has happened, but there didn't used to be this much forest near Dunlea.
Oh.
The forest came here. I I was woken up in the middle of the night when I saw some strange happenings. The trees were moving on their own, and Lord Aldor sent out his soldiers. These and then they were soldiers because I've never seen them in taverns. And soldiers and mercenaries, they talk and whatever, but these were almost automaton. Like they don't have personality. They just stand at attention and don't do anything else. Anyway, I digress. There was a skirmish that night where I believe I saw his forces fighting off trees sent over by Taldor. I think they came from Taldor. I remember some guards that were there. They mentioned that they did not see these trees before, and now they're here. And now, and she looks a little confused and like sort of like rubbing her head. I don't know what has happened. So much strangeness. I've seen magic. Magic is not alien to me, obviously. However, this is beyond what I know to happen. Is it the land fighting back? And I I don't know. All I know is because of all these people left and the land died, and some of the people who did stay, they either when Lord Aldor tried to fight off these invasion of trees, suddenly he called on a new force for him, and now this force is what you see terrorizing the town at night. At day we are safe for the most part, but at day there's nothing. There is no life out there. There is no nothing. We've had to make small travels to the road outside to get food and help, but
Why do you stay? Are there still more of you? Servants, the slaves, are they still there?
Kara speaks up at this. Yeah, there's. I know there's still a small contingent of the house. The house. Fuck, I forgot the word.
Manor?
Housekeepers.
House staff.
House staff. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know there's still a small contingent of the house staff still at Tor's house, but it's stupid to hope that they're still okay. But when I left, they were still there, and just since then we've been holding out here and trying to find a way to break back in and see if we could, I don't know, solve everything.
Is Aldor here? Well, not obviously not here, but is Aldor there now?
I think so.
I think so.
He has not really been in public eye for the last few weeks. I remember I saw him maybe once. He was walking out of the manor going towards Taldor, but he looked different.
Different.
There was an air of coldness about him. I cannot tell you exactly what.
Are you safe here?
Well, so far, no one's caught us here. Knock on the wood.
Well, there's that.
So
There's these weird automatons you say he uses, but are you safe here from the demons that come at night? From the things that come at night.
I hope so. We have a cleric here, and the cleric at the way back of the room sort of waves gently. We have cleric here, and she has small protective sort of spells sometimes to keep them at the bay, but she gets tired, and she is only one protecting all of us.
Hey, sorry, I will have to ask about that. There are priests of Helm that should have come and helped you from Taldor. Did none of them come to your help? Your aid?
If they did, we have a feeling that maybe Lord Aldor has waylaid them some way or another.
They're priests, they're clerics, you don't. So, the asshole is in his tower, manor thing. He has robots, and the forest alive. What they're talking about with the forest coming to, does that seem familiar to Morty at all? Or is this something just bewildering?
Actually, no. Roll for me a history check at advantage.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nime.
Meanwhile, as like they explain this, Kidga is going to rifle through her pack and she's going to take out a potion of healing, and she she hands it to Shari. She says, "I know it's not much, but just in case." While like they're explaining and everything, and once they fall silent, Kidga rifles through her pack and she pulls out a potion of standard healing and she hands it to Shari. Like, I know this is not much, but just in case.
Thank you. We've been short on supplies for the last few weeks, but this will definitely help in the long run.
All right. So, We kill the monster. We get the people out. This will get fixed, right? Right. So, from the sounds of things, let's probably avoid trying to travel at night. And avoid the forest, I guess. Okay, sorry. I rolled an 18. So
There's a reason Taldor respects the forest.
it's never hurt me though.
I did want to ask Shari something slightly to do with that.
Ask away.
Did you say that the trees came alive? Did they only sort of fight Aldor's forces, or did they attack the town itself?
It attacked, I believe, only Aldor's forces, but at that time, Aldor's forces were made out of all these, I suppose, lifeless soldiers.
I'm just gonna have a bit of a smile about that. Okay. That might be something to work with.
Well, look, Powder was always surrounded by forest. I told you, there's nothing in there that would ever hurt me. They would never hurt people.
I know.
Morty,
Yeah?
not hurting you and not hurting people can be entirely different things. It's not that you're not a person, but you are a singular person.
It didn't hurt Maddie either. She'd go dancing at night inside the forest. She'd be
Vic's
safe.
just gonna look at him.
But all this...
I'm sorry, who is this Maddie? Are they in league with Aldor?
No, of course not. No, she's my sister.
okay.
She lives in Taldor. She did live in Taldor.
Perhaps she sent the trees after Aldor?
I don't think she'd be that powerful. She just made flowers dance.
Kara suddenly speaks. Wait, Maddie, is that short for something?
Madrigal. Madrigal Rock.
Oh,
What? What?
okay. This is like way before a lot of everything happened. But I was in charge of well, getting food for a lady called Madrigal, but she was only here briefly. I think
Of her own
this
free
is
will?
right after he came back. No. I think he arrested her from Taldor,
You
but
what?
then she disappeared.
Is she still here?
No, that's the thing though. She escaped somehow, and then the room was locked, and nobody could figure out how or where. But she
I'm
got
ready.
out. So
Right. So, Kidra, you'll have to wait your turn.
she was real nice. So I mean, she talked to me when I gave her the food,
Did she look
and
well?
and she was okay, and I think she was concerned for you because she mentioned she had a brother that left, and she was taking care of things while he was gone or something. So I now that I don't know, it might be a different Madrigal. I could be wrong. Sorry. I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm sorry.
Did she look nothing like me? Did she have long black hair?
And looking a little pale, but like not an unhealthy pale. Like
She's
just
always been.
okay.
So,
Kidga just like puts a hand, like she pats Morty on the back of the shoulder, and then just puts her hand on top of it.
I don't know if this means anything to you, but when she didn't seem very distressed at the fact that she was arrested.
she rarely
And
does.
um She said she said she was just visiting to check things out. I think that's what she said exactly.
Why would you?
Something like that.
You didn't,
Sorry.
you didn't even know where I went when I tried to look for a job. No. No, she's smart. She should have. She might have figured something out. She must be trying to fix things. But she's not there anymore.
No.
There might be another guest you might know. A guest. No. Older man. Beard. Hair would you probably white by now. He sometimes stutters a little. His name's
Oh,
Walter?
Wally? Oh,
Yes.
Wally, yeah. He, became part of the house staff momentarily. Something about paying off a debt someone else incurred or something. And, she sort of like shies under your like withering sort of like intense glares. Like,
I'm not angry at you. I'm sorry. These are people. These are my people. He's taken from me.
um, he
They're
was
mine.
a little special. He was a little especially mean to Wally, but Wally kind of just shrugged it off and said he's, something about being loyal to someone. You see her sort of like stuttering over her words at this point because like she knows this is hurting you or affecting you some way, so she's not sure how to put her words diplomatically without upsetting you too much.
So defiant. So he's still there, like with the rest of the staff.
That is that's why we wanted to go back and get the rest of them out.
Knowing Wally's probably organized them into some sort of militia already by now, and
Developing unions.
yeah, make sure they work good hours.
Morty,
Yeah.
you know we can't go in there all guns literally blazing to take the place over.
I know.
You're gonna have to be patient.
I know. I just
Doesn't mean we're not gonna do anything. It's just we can't
not yet.
go in the front door. Well, you can't go in the front door.
I can, if you'd like, Morty, and if everyone says it's okay, I can offer some reconnaissance. Not me.
Yes.
But
not you. But what?
well, like with those people that I called upon, the best scouts in the Fae are sprites. They can get in invisible. They can even discern the true nature of people that are around. I can only summon them for an hour, but we could get an idea if they find Walter, or they can at least get an idea of where everyone is, if you'd like.
Oh, we need information. So, and honestly, most of what I remember from that place was I have a very good memory of where the sweatshop was, and oddly enough, one of the bathrooms. Also, don't go into the bushes. There's rats in them.
Righto.
Lots of rats in them.
Morty, what the fuck?
Noodle story.
This was so out of the left field. Fuck.
Softly, but with feeling.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Will that take a lot of your strength? We need information.
Look, we're not making a major move right now. It may be another day before we make any plans I assume we're not going to be jumping at this straight away, so it's not going to be a problem.
And you'll be safe.
I won't need to be anywhere near them.
All right. Yes. I want this to happen. This is a good thing to do this, right, Vic?
Why are you asking me? I shot you.
Well, I kind of do. I think both Morty and I would defer to you and Kedra as far as common sense and planning goes, so maybe
Ask away at
Kedra
Kedra.
mostly. Kedra, do you
Wait,
think
Ask
this
away
is
at
an
Kedra.
Do you think this is a good idea?
the sprites, I think, yeah, that as long as they cannot somehow track the origin of the spell, I think it would be a pretty good idea, actually.
Well, I'll make sure to tell them not to interact with anyone, not to take unnecessary risk.
Well, oh my god.
Okay, shut your filthy whore mouth.
It's not real lemonade.
Shit.
This is the
Vic-
Sprite bottles infiltrating.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I keep imagining, and it's fucking tripping me up.
Sprite bottles, but with wings.
Exactly.
Vic wants to ask
Horrible.
anybody who's willing to answer about the shit that comes out of the forest and rampages through the city at night.
No. Those are two different things. Those are two different things.
How do
There.
you know that?
No. The thing that comes at night came out after. Aldor went to Taldor. Came back different, and came back when he started. That's when the dark things in the dark happened. Then one of the skirmishes happened, wherein the forest came out to go to Aldor, and Aldor sent off these weird Magitech soldiers after them.
Hmm.
So
But she literally said that it's not safe to go out,
no.
so I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah.
Like, has anybody seen why it's not safe to go out at night? What does it look like? What
They
does it sound like?
They seem to be, from my understanding, perhaps maybe undead.
Okay.
I've never really studied necromancy or anything like that, but the way they kill is by siphoning life out of the living. So
Hmm.
You
This is
see,
kind
you see Kedra vaguely lose composure. Vaguely.
Sup, Grandma? This is gonna sound like an odd question, but does it seem like they actually want to be here?
well, I didn't exactly stick around to find out. It's
Yeah,
a
I
little
didn't think you
terrifying
would.
to see your friend become 80 years old all of a sudden and then die into skeleton dust.
Yeah, that's always very awkward and terrible.
Mm.
Unfortunately,
It is,
aside from the
it
skeleton
is.
dust, I do not feels to see your friend do that. He looks at Kedra.
Yeah.
She looks at Shaggy. She looks at Vic. She looks at Shaggy with like this like very calm demeanor, but like everything about it says this is fine.
Everything about it says inwardly screaming.
Yes, this
Um,
is fine.
are there any places? I kind of want to get a look at him just so we're up against. So when dark falls, I want to see if I can get out and have a look around.
Well,
Okay,
sorry, is Vic saying this out loud?
Yes,
Well, I want to go out and talk to the forest. Sounds very
but we're not.
strange.
You're not doing that at night. That
No.
sounds like a terrible idea.
Why
No.
are you all so hellbound on getting killed?
Not killed.
I don't want to get killed. I
Information.
want to figure out why other people.
And besides, I promised Glenn I'll take him to see the forests, didn't I?
Daytime, okay?
Daytime.
That's gay.
You sure picked the right season for that, Morty.
Yeah.
The forest to come to see Glenn.
Ben's
The
obvious
forest walks up
outlaw.
with like a knockoff gas bag and a Lena, honey, so nice to see you.
Oh my god!
I've heard so much about you. Pinches your cheek.
Oh my god. Also, what's the time?
The time is currently about 10 a.m. 11. Going to 11. It's like
Lunch.
10:30. We may break.
Break.
So where we last left off is the bullshitters conglomerating in the basement of a cabin in Dunlea, trying to figure out what to do, plan of attack and things and stuff, and plotting to do with Lord Aldor. And now we're catching up on what has happened in Dunlea since the last time Morty left. And sad to say, Dunlea has not fared any better since the plot. All right. However, meanwhile, Chaz has gone back to Red Throne with message in hand. Excuse me, with message in hand, and to look for her. Did I say Cat or Chaz? I'm sorry. Fuck. Did I say Chaz?
Doesn't matter.
Cat, get out of my game. Cat, get out of my game. Chaz is on the way back to Red Throne to search for her wayward sons. No, her wayward companions.
Technically, they might be descended from her, which would be weird.
Grandmother paradox.
Bit slightly concerned,
Let's not go there.
but he would not put it past himself.
So Chaz is just going to the inn.
Mhm.
So where they were staying last.
Okay. It is actually a fair bit of travel, like fair bit of days travel to Red Throne.
Well, I figure she's traveling while they're traveling on. As well.
This is basically picking up from where they last saw you, in a way. So, all the meantime, they are actually already traveling onwards from Darthoon to Dunlea.
Yeah.
So, sorry, sorry, I should call it meanwhile, but basically 3 weeks before, and stupid in media res little episodes that pick up like in various parts of the timeline. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, yeah. This has been a few days after you set out from Darthoon, and you do find yourself back in Red Throne eventually. You are going to make your way to the last inn you remember being at, which is the at the Pillars. That's in the forgotten what it's called already. Artisan Quarter, I think. God, we just left like 2 sessions ago. I've already forgotten how the city looks like. From what you gather, there seems to be a lot of rebuilding efforts. There's a fair amount of hubbub in the city in the wake of basically the cure of the Stone Plague being more widespread and people trying to restabilize themselves. You sort of hear this talk as you sort of make your way over to the inn. As you enter, immediately there are eyes on you. And they don't waver, they just stare directly at you as if straight through you.
Chaz is just gonna smirk and walk up and be like, "Are they still here?"
She shakes her head. Her eye is still trained on you, by the way. She does not blink.
Did they say where they were going?
At this point, she goes down below the bar and she whips out a small piece of paper and pushes it to
What did she say when they were going? She goes down under the bar.
It's like,
Charlie Chaplin, out.
She pops back out and pushes the paper towards you.
Mm-hmm. Chaz is going to take the paper, put it in her bra, lean over the bar, give the tiefling a kiss on the cheek, say thank you, and leave.
For the first time, if anyone has ever noticed, ever really paid attention to this particular barkeep, she blinks.
Wow.
Chaz is just going to
Who made her
saunter.
take a normal
out.
person function.
Chaz is just going to saunter out, butt wiggle and everything.
All right. So you saunter out, knowing that there is a once upon a time X-ray tiefling staring, now instead blinking in mild surprise. Staring at, sort of blinking after you. But yeah. So you exit the pillars in.
As she leaves, she's going to check what the piece of paper says and where they're going.
The
And
piece of
she's going to
paper-
be heading towards the stables.
All right. The piece of paper is written in Vic's handwriting, and it says that they are en route to Darthoon.
As a question, did you guys get Chaz's stuff?
I left it at the stables with Rhinoc.
Okay.
And with I had a very close conversation with the lady after the stables, like, do not sell this shit, doesn't belong to you or me, and if the person who owns it finds out you sold it, she will gut you.
Alright, so yeah, Chaz is just going to head to the stable.
When you head to the stable, the little stable lady is there, and
Mhm.
she sort of notices you. She's like, "You're the friend of that young-looking thing with the hair."
Yes, his name's Mordecai. Do you have my horse?
Oh shit.
Yes, he shared a few choice words with me with regards to selling your items, which I didn't. If you could tell him that.
Yep.
So, yeah, here's your stuff. So she opens up the stables and leads you to your door. Leads you to a horse. I word well.
Alright, so Chaz is going to check Rhinoc over and saddle him up and just say thank you again to the lady who's looking after him.
Mm-hmm.
Flip her a gold piece
Mhm.
and then head off.
She manages to catch the gold piece and waves after you as you toddle off, right off into the sunset. No, right off outside of Red Throne. Now, I want Chaz to. I just want you to roll for Chaz quickly. First, a Constitution check.
10.
Now, I want you to roll also percentile, please.
Oh shit.
The 100 and the 10.
32.
You remember being ripped apart. You feel like you are being split apart in pieces. And when you come to this strange feeling, you're actually no longer at the mouth of Red Throne. You're traveling south of Darthoon now. Days have passed. You seem to have blacked out, but you seem to have also stayed your course in that meantime. However, the sensation of being ripped apart to pieces settles in you. And now you can't shake the feeling as if you're missing something. And more so than the troublesome memories and memory loss for that matter, it feels as part of your essence is missing.
Chaz has got to do this.
Way to go!
Classic Chaz. Oh.
They're still there? Awesome.
Yeah.
You give yourself a physical once over, and it seems you're not any worse for wear. You seem to have somehow fed yourself in the days
Ooh.
of travel that have passed. You don't seem to be in any sort of bad shape, and you don't, apart from feeling a little bit peckish, internally you feel quite okay, like physically internally, but there is a weird sickening feeling that's settling in your gut that you are missing something, or you're the thing that's missing. You're not quite sure how to make out these feelings, but make out with these feelings. Make these feelings out quite yet.
I mean, it is Chaz. If she was making out with the brand.
Wouldn't be surprised. Chaz is just kind of going to, because this is the type of person she is. She's just gonna kind of like try to shrug it off. Like, just be like, oh well, and keep going. It's like, not the worst that's happened to me.
God.
Yeah, the sensation does stay with you for a while, though. Okay, so you are now traveling south of Darthun when you're just sort of coming across a road leading onwards to it would seem Dunlea. And along the way you excuse me, you encounter a merchant. Seems to be selling some sort of drink. As he approaches, the strong scent of coffee hits you.
Just as a question, where was that teleport thing that Chaz found? Because that's what ideally I wanted her to head back to.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah.
We can retcon that. Sorry, I actually have. Yeah, it's along the mountain range towards where Darthun is.
Yeah.
So you're not exactly too far from Darthun right now. It seems as though it's still within sight. So you want to go back to that teleportation thing?
Yeah, because she wanted to play with it a little bit if she could.
Okay, sure thing. Along your travels, you like I said, you do meet up with a merchant with. Sorry, I'm really traveling to this clumsily. Along the road, you encounter the coffee merchant, and he sort of just waves at you and sort of raises a mug at you questioningly.
She's just going to say, is it organic?
It's made out of beans!
He's not wrong.
She's going to walk Rhinoc over.
At this point, he sort of stops his cart and sort of looks like he's sort of starting to open up the little brew he has and everything.
Weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Did a drow come by here who asked for coffee and then specifically put whiskey in it?
He sort of narrows his eyes at you. Are you a witch? You're reading my mind?
No. I'm just looking for him.
All right. Well, yeah. Just a few days back. Yeah. Drow and a company of other folks. Two humans. One really tall, green human. One really short, bearded human.
A purple human. Just want to know which direction they were going in.
Oh my god.
south. I think they may have been traveling the road to Dunlea. I mean, they had
Okay.
mentioned.
Oh,
Yeah.
green human. Well, to some extent, yes.
All right. Well, if you see them again, which I doubt you will, just tell them that their purple horny human friend is trying to find them.
All right. I'll tell them that. Purple human. Gotcha.
Okay, coffee?
Oh, right. Yes, coffee. Here you go. It'll just be. Just 10 copper. What to do?
Okay, she's gonna pay him.
Strong coffee. It's very strong coffee.
Do you have any sugar cubes?
Yeah, I suppose one moment, and he gets out a small like jar of them.
She's gonna take 2 and put them in her coffee, and then she's gonna take another 2 and give them to Reinok.
Aw.
Reinok tries to stay very stoic as he tries to find a way to eat the sugar cubes as demurely as possible, but
Oh.
you are feeding him, and he does just sort of like go. No.
She's just gonna pat him on the flank. That's because you've been away from your friends for a long time. And she's gonna get back up on his back.
All right. Okay, so you keep making your way over to Darthun. Is that right?
To the portal place.
Yeah. You eventually make your way back to Darthun, and without really catching much attention, you make your way through the caves. And I want you to roll a survival thing for me again, please.
So I'm gonna do math 15 plus something. — 16.
Okay. That should be fine. Without any further hindrance, you make your way back up the tunnels, and make your way back up to where the rope bridge was.
She's just gonna have a look, see if the house looks like anyone's come back to it or anything.
Perception me.
Ah! Ow!
You're right? Did you just get
Got
murdered by
a
your own dice?
pointy dice to the boob.
Oof.
So
no.
perceptions plus int, that's 18.
It's 18. It seems to be untouched from
Right.
how you last left it.
She's gonna check to see whether the birds are still alive.
Okay, so you're entering the hut now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. You do enter the hut, and it seems that the birds are actually no longer there.
She's gonna very quietly be like, damn it, I wanted to use those to test something. She's gonna check to see if any of the money has been looked at or played with or anything. Like the
No.
pouches.
The pouches still seem to be in place. You do know there's a couple of feathers from where the birds were. Probably just sort of fell off, but the feathers do seem to lead towards their teleportation circle.
She's just gonna look at the feathers, look at the teleportation circle, and look at the feathers again and just be like, that's what I was going to test. So she's gonna pull out a piece of paper if she can and try to make a sketch of the runic circle.
Okay. Not gonna make you roll anything for that. Just say you do.
And she's going to pick up one of the pouches from the table
Mhm.
and throw it into the center of the teleportation circle and see what happens.
It bounces and skids and comes to a halt at the other side of the circle.
Is there any like living stuff like outside, like plants or anything?
Mm, there is the bunch of herbs and flora dangling from the ceiling,
Are they dried?
but not. Yeah, most of them are dried at this point.
Is there any that look particularly fresh?
The thing that does that looks freshest is the garland of garlic.
She's gonna take a clove of garlic and throw it at the circle again.
It bounces and skids to a halt in the middle of the circle.
All right. She's gonna tell Mouse to wait outside with Rhinoc.
Okay.
She's going to deliberately put herself in between Mouse's view of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to throw a bug at the circle.
As Mouse sort of flies over his shoulder back over to where Rhinoc is, you deftly throw a bug onto the circle. It kind of just plops uneventfully into the circle. However, the sound does alert Mouse, and
Oh no!
Mouse immediately whips back and sort of lands back onto one of the sill and sort of like looking.
She's going to take another bug and toss it out the window.
Mouse follows the bug's trajectory and goes zooming after it.
Okay, last thing she's going to do.
Mhm.
She's going to cast Thaumaturgy
Okay.
just above the circle to see if magic activates it.
Okay, so what exactly is the thaumaturgy gonna do?
Actually, no,
Just-
let's change that. She's just going to cast her mage hand above the circle to see what happens.
Okay. You Chaz forms the magic hand, mage hand, whatever, above the circle, and there's a thrum of energy that resonates from the teleportation circle, but it sort of fades out as if not entirely there.
She's going to write under her notes, needs to be activated. And then she's going to fuck off.
So Chaz le fucks off after fisting. Sorry. After fisting the circle, Chaz fucks off.
Mhm.
Okay. I'd like you to roll another Constitution, please. Chaz is no good.
Okay.
Very bad day.
Bounced. 8, 10. Again.
Okay. I'd like you to roll a percentile, please.
26.
For a moment, your vision swims, and you just manage to sort of catch yourself just right outside of the hut, so you're not in any danger of falling. And when you look up, you can see suddenly an overcast sky where there wasn't. And there is a rumbling noise and the ground beneath you shakes, and the mountains are a few bits of debris suddenly falling down. But the one thing that catches your eye is a bright light suddenly shining from the south. And you look. And in the distance, there is a tower. And from this tower is shining up this
A
great...
shiny beacon.
Yes, a shiny beacon. A great beam of light. A great beam of light that pierces the sky. And you are filled with elation, inexplicable elation at this sight. And just as sudden as the vision had come, it goes, and you are back to the clear sky, clear noon sky in front of you.
Chaz is just gonna swear very quietly under her breath. And she's just gonna get on Rhinoc and right away. Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay. So where's Chaz's next destination after this?
She's gonna try and meet up with the others.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So with that, I will current time over to the rest of them. So at the basement, Morty, Kidra, Glenn, Vic.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
So, is it decided then? Glenn sends his tiny sprites over to the
Bottles.
manor.
Fuck.
We talk to the forest and
God.
Vic and the rest of us will go inspect the ghosts. Or not ghosts. Or bad
What?
things that suck life. At night.
I wasn't expecting you guys to come with me.
And you cannot possibly expect us to think that you're gonna be
Not
okay
to.
on your own. Come on.
Fine.
You've seen,
Um,
we've all seen firsthand what these things do, didn't we?
Lee.
Grim, significant look from Kidra.
Didn't we?
Yes? Yes, Tom?
how many people have we encountered down in that tunnel? Like that with
Little, like, carved out basement.
Yeah.
You have... Hold on. You have 11 people there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Queen of Voice from
The
God.
goddess has spoken.
The goddess has spoken.
I want to just approach. Was it Shari? What was her
Yeah,
name
Shari.
again? Shari.
Yeah, you got it right, Shari. Yeah.
Is this are these all that you have managed to are there any other people around who are managing to stay out of sight right now, or is this all?
There is maybe 2 people out at the moment. They are keeping an eye out on House Tor, just to see if there are any developments or any other things we need to keep an eye out on.
Okay. I just I guess I was hoping maybe there were more people for us to. I don't know. Forget it. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. This is
No,
all
no,
that's
no.
left after the
Don't be
mess.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not good at talking. Is there a way that we can get closer to the manor without being seen? Are there tunnels that lead there? Something underground, or?
There is sort of an egress that one can use to access House Tor. However, we had a botched rescue mission maybe a week or a week and a half back, so we cannot expect it to be as secure as it was when we first tried.
They're aware of it now. Okay.
Perhaps we can't tell because the people who went in
Didn't come
and
back.
she just shakes her head. There is it's a sewers entrance, and it leads out from shit, east. Yeah. It leads out from east of the house.
If you can take me close to there, I can. It would be the best way for me to send my my reconnaissance out, and they can also find out if it has been compromised or not.
All right, but I cannot guarantee a full party will be able to make it there undetected. It is better if we only have a small people, so just you and me. Maybe one other person if you do not trust me, or if I do not trust you, but you seem gentle.
I certainly hope so. Are you all okay if I go off to do this?
No, but he's right.
Yeah.
We'd have a better chance of it.
Okay.
Just stay safe.
I will.
Either way, I need to head out, talk to the forest again.
Because that's not creepy at all.
You're right. It doesn't hurt people, but it's never hurt me.
All right. Well, as soon as you've got the time to take me, Shari, we should get that done as soon as possible.
It is best to move in the daylight because
Yeah.
they have less eyes out during day. During nighttime, everything is
Oh,
nowhere is
it's
safe.
nighttime right now, is it, Lee?
No.
Sorry, I didn't get an idea of what time
No,
it
No,
was
it's
here.
it's probably about noon-ish now, or like sorry, 11.
Hey, what time is it?
Okay, that's well, yeah. I've only got an hour of sprites to do, so it would have to be very quick op anyway.
Fair enough. Well, if you are secure in your abilities, then I trust in you be able to pull off what you need to do. But I will take you there, where you need to be.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we leaving now?
Is everyone leaving all in one go?
Might as well.
All right.
Well, okay, but if we're going with Morty,
Hmm.
we're gonna have to wait until nighttime for my shit, so we might as well go. Yeah, might as well go now.
Where are you guys gonna go?
Forest.
Ah, okay. And Kidra, you're going with.
Morty's going alone.
No, Morty's going with Vic because Morty's going with Vic later on at
Yeah,
night as well.
Kitty guy's going with Vic and Morty. Vic and Morty.
Okay.
I still can't get over it. It's terrible.
It's just as dysfunctional as the cartoon.
Honestly, though.
To be fair, I didn't realize Mordecai turns into Morty, by the way.
Oh.
Oh god.
Okay. So first we'll deal with the sneaky recon. Okay. Y'all make your respective headway. Bishari, she makes it so that you guys come out sort of at separate times. Like you don't all go out in one skedaddle. Sort of like she asks you to wait a little bit behind before going out on your own way. Eventually you make your headway out of the cabin and into the woods now. and onwards to the position. She seems to be wanting to take a path around the castle. So instead of going through the city, the town, she sort of wants to follow the circumference of the town instead. So with that, I want you to make a stealth roll for me, unless you want to do something else as well, Glenn.
No. This is the only plan I've got right now.
Okay. So, roll the stealthy roll for me.
Okay. Hmm. Alrighty. That's not fantastic. It's 9. May, honey, I'm gonna stick with that orange dice because it's got to get better. But for now, it's not doing so well for me.
If it gets you killed, I'll just be filled with so much guilt.
No, it won't be you. Don't worry.
When you follow the periphery of the town, you kind of duck and weave through the woods. And before you really get into the dense part of it, Shari sort of stops you to a halt and stops to I'm sorry, I'm Englishing bad today all of a sudden. She stops and just sort of gestures and speaks quietly. It's like, these are the trees that came to life and, well, came here. But as you can see, it seems that they were of no match for Aldor's new force. I'd like you to roll a nature check really quickly for me, Glenn.
Sure. I had plans to do something involving that at a later time, but I didn't have the proper spells, so.
That's fine.
Nature check 14.
14. You're not when she mentioned the trees, you kind of just sort of examined the vague greenery surrounding, but these particular clump of trees, if you could still call them, much closer to the manor, they aren't as leafy or have like bare foliage on them. And if anything, the wood of these trees are so darkened and deadened to the point that the bark is brittle and falling off. And you feel like they had once life, but not the same way that there was life. There is life in most of the other flora you are accustomed to. This seems like it was once a living creature, and in the skirmish, it has died and petrified into a standing corpse of a tree that now litters a lot of the landscape.
Well, look, I've noticed this. I can tell that it is dead. But I'm guessing my nature check doesn't.
Hope so.
I'm guessing my nature check isn't good enough to identify the tree as anything else except somehow a tree has shifted and died there.
You have an inkling that you know that it's that it may have been a tree ant, but you cannot confirm.
No.
As since when they die, they kind of just tree.
Okay. But yeah, this just in general, this is kind of it's disheartening to see, but at the same time, it's this overall information of the forest being a force to try and fight this is something that we could possibly have as an advantage in future. So yeah, that's all.
I have no intention of fighting a bunch of trees, I'll be honest. And at the same time, if trees are on our side, what's to stop the people from just putting it on fire? The idea of having a tree army just kind of escapes me. But if this is something you believe in, then I will endeavor not to disrespect this. I'm just saying a tree army sounds stupid. I say so.
I honestly do believe it, and I think maybe a tree army with more isn't so stupid.
This is true. Oh, we should probably make way. We don't want to keep your companions waiting. And so you sort of travel through this like maze of like dead trees, and eventually make your way out to a small little runoff that goes from the manor, leading out to presumably somewhere downstream towards the actual lusher looking parts of the forest behind the manor. Eventually you make your way over to grassy knoll. Do you love my grassy knolls? A hill. It just sort of overlooking the entrance and sewers, and she does point that out. And she goes, "There, that is the egress I was talking about."
Okay. So if we're at the point, then I'll cast my spell now. So I'm casting level 4 Conjure Woodland Beings to summon 8 sprites.
Maybe use the opalite for that?
You don't need
Oh no,
to
I
roll
don't
to
need
conjure
to
them.
roll for that. That's all good.
Oh, thank fuck.
It's all good.
Okay, so how many?
8. Their difficulty rating of 1/4, so I'm able to summon 8 of them.
Okay, okay. Just whip all them. They're just called pixies or something, or
No, sprites.
sprite. Okay.
Yeah, sprites are mainly just scout things. They've got invisibility, they've got really good stealth, and they've got a couple of other spells for like discerning the nature of things around them.
Yeah. Okay. So you focus and you conjure. Magic ripples from you. You feel a form start to take form. And out come a small group of sprites. Little green bottles with fizzy bubbles. But they are green. And they are bubbly.
As far as I recall, they only speak Sylvan, don't they? Oh no, they speak Common as
Nope,
well.
they speak common too.
Okay. I'll just quickly try and gesture them towards me because there's not a whole lot of time.
Okay, so they crowd in around you.
Hi, I'm very sorry to call you from wherever you are, but I have a very important stealth and reconnaissance mission for you.
So we're not turning anyone to octopus today?
I didn't think you could do that.
Sorry, DM note.
Pixies are
Are
not
these the same
sprites.
ways-
No.
Oh shit, these are different.
Pixies
Right.
do
Okay.
Pixies do like all that magic-y stuff. Sprites are just very similar looking things, but
Okay. Whoops,
Okay.
the DM is accidentally phased.
it's okay.
Alright. So
Hi.
they crowd around you, so
Listen, just over there you'll see there's a secret tunnel entrance to a mansion. And I thought, well, we have very great need for your services. If you can go in stealthily, check out the area, be as quiet as you can. You don't need to engage anyone, but get as much information about the layout and the armament, or the guards that might be there. If you can do this for me and be back within an hour, I will be very, very grateful.
some of them sort of look over their shoulder, and then when you point out the little sewer entrance, they sort of look at it and stare, and like, that's a sewer, isn't it? There's always a sewer level with these things. God damn. All right, fine. Look, he wants to do it. They're sort of talking amongst themselves. He wants us to do it. We may as well.
Is there something that you want in return?
Experience points? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna do it.
Thank you.
You're well. Like, all right, let's skedaddle. So they start making their way over to the tunnel, and sort of Shari's sort of sitting there, sort of staring like confusedly. Like, is that something you always do? You conjure little friends and little things with wings, and they do the thing?
It's one thing I can do. I can do other things. Do you want to see me do other things?
I think let's not push it. I'd rather not get any more attention to where we are. But yes, are they intelligent? I mean, I don't doubt that.
You heard them speak. They're intelligent.
That's right. Just the ability to speak does not speak to one's intelligence, if I may say so.
They're
From
intelligent.
somewhere in the distance, you hear Glenn is living proof of.
Oh wow!
GG.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Yeah, my intelligence score isn't all that great.
But Morty still loves Glenn. And that's what matters. Well,
It
if you
seems to
trust
me,
them,
I do, and it seems to me that you seem to live in a community that's very close to a strong contingent of Fey entities. So I wouldn't question the intelligence of any of them.
I see your point. I apologize.
I'm
My
hearing
relationship-
voices. Are you hearing voices?
Sometimes I hear voices as if in distance, like angry at a video game. I don't even know what video game is, but I could be wrong. Anyway,
Jeez. Fourth
But-
wall.
well, my relationship with magic is a little bit strained considering what I've been through. So my belief, my faith in the intangible is a little complicated now. So I suppose if the Fae are more tangible than I believe them to be, then I suppose some reconsideration is in order. But nonetheless, look, you are doing a big favor for us, and we appreciate that. It was hard to just trust a stranger from out of town when a lot of them seem content to just walk on by as if nothing is happening. But
I
Thank
can't imagine how anyone could really believe nothing's happening. Have you seen the state of the crops and the area around the place? Look at these trees.
well, people have their own problems, I suppose.
Speaking of problems, we should probably find somewhere a bit more inconspicuous to wait. Out of character,
Can
I
you not
just
summon a tree?
I can't summon something else while they're out there. The big treant that is dead there. Is there any sort of
several.
area around, like just like underneath its trunk, leg things where we could possibly hide? Would that be an appropriate sort of place to?
Are you going to
Yeah.
hide underneath a tree corpse, Glenn?
I guess
You're
so.
hiding in a graveyard.
This is actually pretty gruesome and very morbid.
Vic, I would not believe for a second that you haven't hidden in a graveyard at some point.
But I haven't hidden in a corpse.
Oh my god.
Yet.
Think very
Yeah.
strongly about this, Vic. I'm almost certain at some point in his past he has.
He might
No, I
have
don't
been
think he's
high.
hidden in a corpse
I'm
yet.
being silly. I'm being silly.
Yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shari eventually does lead you over to one of the nearby trees, dead trees, and you park yourself there for the meantime. Several minutes later, you emerge from the cabin. Morty, Kidra, Vic.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So, trees. Talking to trees. See, the thing here is we're walking already. See, the thing is, they never talked back, but I knew they were listening. Does that make sense to
Well,
anyone?
they probably did talk back. You just don't speak their language.
Possible, I guess.
Well, he has a point. Yes.
I used to talk to them a lot more when I was younger. But I grew up. I went to Erasmus. I didn't visit all that often. I visited Maddie, but not the forest.
Well,
Kids leave
well, trees live pretty long. I think they have pretty good memories. Like, right? She just like looked at Vic, like, right?
Yeah, my mom can remember shit years ago.
That's, I think, a mother thing than a tree thing.
That's probably true, yeah, but I mean,
If you're right, and these trees like live really long times, how can something that lives a really long time remember something as brief as I'm uncomfortable with this line of thought? Let's just go to the trees.
Well, we're about to find out.
I think they see us like particularly affectionate dogs.
That is
Who
like,
occasionally murder others of their kind, so burn them to keep them alive.
I was about to say that it's a strangely comforting thought, but then
But then I kept talking.
yes. But I still love you, Vic.
Somebody has to. All right, we're off.
Just-
Okay.
just pats him on the back.
Okay, is it a short or a long walk to the forest, basically? It's basically just one straight line out of the cabin straight into the forest, basically.
Basically, it's not a big hard. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. So, like, Morty comes to the middle. Oh, hi. Mordecai Rock. I walk trees back in Taldor.
Would you like, before Morty continues, at what trees are you speaking to at?
Basically, the trees that they pointed out.
Okay.
That we're moving. Sort of
Continue.
at not one specific tree, but sort of that group of trees. So,
Okay then.
I
He's
was
preaching.
wondering if you're. I just, you don't like Aldor. I don't. I usually someone's already stopped me from putting my foot in my mouth now, so I just. Hi.
Dude,
You
talk to
responded
them
to
like-
the faint rustling of leaves in the wind.
Talk to them like they're people. They are, even if there's not a dryad in general. They just have memories and can brain and
Vic, you remember the part where this is how I actually talk to anyone?
usually you do it with stuttering.
I've come here to.
Chica's just like, hello? In Sylvan, because Vic taught her, like, in Sylvan 101.
Yeah.
She's just like, hello?
Sorry. Kendra saying it Sylvan. I love milk.
Malek.
What?
God, Duolingo is a gift. Oh my god.
Okay, so like Morty sort of tries that in common, sort of just turns to the trees. Like here's like Peter to do it in Sylvan. Takes a deep breath and says, "Hello, my name is Mordecai," in void. In the most polite form of void.
Bitch, I know that. I stole your book.
Good, I guess. I'm taking a guess here now. I don't know. I always
Kitty
feel
Guts
like
just
I'm in
like
common.
whips around that morning, like the fuck. How do you do that with your mouth?
It requires a whole lot of guilt and not a great deal of self-awareness.
You hear
Oh boy.
soft rustling of leaves, the branches swaying against the slight breeze in the air. But underneath it all, there is a strange, almost guttural groan that just fades in with the wind and fades out.
Vic, was that your stomach?
No, that wasn't my stomach.
Idre, was that
I
your
I had
stomach?
my whiskey today.
No. No. Oh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay. Alright, I get in void. I'm here to help fix this. I'm
While
here.
you're talking, Morty, Vic goes pale. Like, not just like pale as in like, oh no, I stepped on something, but pale as something's gone very wrong.
Vic. Vic.
He's gonna put his hand on Morty's shoulder and be like, Morty, they're dying.
The trees?
Yeah.
Do they need
And now he's got a better idea of it. He's actually gonna walk forward into the forest a little bit.
wait, where wait, where are you going? Wait.
What?
Wait for us.
Vic?
Come
She's-
with me, I'll show you.
A land of imagination, what?
Yeah. So Vic's background, this is like a character aside. Vic's background, he understands but doesn't speak a little bit of Dryad. He had to know whether or not his mom was like ready to smack down because he was a troublesome child. But basically, when the trees made that groaning noise, like a death rattle.
Oh.
So he's gonna pick out one of the trees, and he literally grabs more,
Ah!
thunks his hand against the trunk. And
Ah!
it's just like, feel that?
It's rough and coarse. I
It's
don't.
dead.
Does it feel dead? What do they need? Do they need us to feed it water?
And Vic's gonna get his knife out and cut a chunk out of the bark
Ah,
Okay.
that.
and see if any of the sap is still flowing.
When you cut a chunk out of the bark, a good deal of the layers are quite brittle and dry. But
no.
you cut a dip enough, like enough of dip inside that there is a hint of a slight firmness. It will not firm, like sort of softness underneath, like a good, really thick layer of the bark, though.
Are they okay?
Yeah, that isn't normal.
But these are the ones that fought.
Glenn could probably tell you more. He's plant, but this isn't normal.
Flat, half man, all testosterone. Sorry.
Half plant, half man, all druid.
It's okay. So the trees are dead. These are dying. They're dying. These are the trees that fought against the strange, emotionless soldiers that Aldor had.
Yeah, but not here. She said it was over the other side of town, didn't she?
That's closer to the manor, though, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh. I mean, we could go check it out.
Yes. But I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I just thought I'd come here and maybe they'd talk to us.
They did. They told you they're dying.
Can they tell us how we can help? Or why they
Ask
came
'em.
to fight? Okay. And Void doing the weird thing again. I'm sorry. How can we help? Why did you come to help? Dunlea, how can we help you?
I can't figure out how to parse this check, so I'm gonna say, do me a charisma check right now, Morty.
Okay. Playing charisma? Okay.
Just plain straight up charisma. The
Yeah.
CH to the A.
Go Morty. Go Morty. Go.
Oh, okay.
Go. Go Morty.
20, but not natural. That's actually 17, by the way.
My fat
Nice.
daughter has returned. Oh, good.
Mhm.
You hear on the wind again a strange guttural noise, and it sounds as if there are trees just sort of bending or groaning under the a strong wind, but even you can tell the breeze isn't that strong.
That's good. Neat. Vic, is that a good thing?
I need to roll to check, don't I, nature?
Yeah.
19.
Nice.
They have grown something in a different language.
How many tree languages are there? Is it a dialect thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's some hick trees and there's some redneck trees and.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Vocal
Oh,
trees.
shit.
Mm.
Great! Vic is just, he just looks at the trees and then looks at Morty and then looks back at the trees and is like, really?
What? Did I do something
Um,
wrong?
The wind picks up again, and a stronger, more urgent groaning echoes and
Ugh.
reverberates around you.
Kidra probably understands this, like, she can hear it. At least a little bit.
Mm. If it's in Sylvan, then
What you hear is basically what Vic hears. The first word is sister, and then the second set is the door.
I don't know this yet.
Morty, there's something about your sister and a door. I don't know, like hoarding hinges and doorknobs that we're not aware of.
Door?
Yeah.
What door?
Vic's gonna ask back in Sylvan, where's the door?
Morty knows what door, possibly.
Oops, wrong.
Your sister to the trees!
Oh.
The fern!
Morty and Maddie are the only
Another
ones who
groan.
play at night.
Oh.
Another
just
groan
makes this-
reverberates.
Vic just makes this oh sound.
Vic.
Lake. Wonderful. The lake's a doorway. Morty, the look on your face tells me that you already knew this.
I knew that's where they
Did you
came
guys
from.
lock a door or
Lock. No, I. Look, all I know is this. When we were young, Maddie and I broke all the rules and went swimming at night. She nearly drowned. Because the woods were lovely, dark, and deep. She nearly drowned. Then they brought her back.
they as in the trees or the lake? Or giant shadowy beings which are now in chains and are possibly dragging to their doom into said lake?
Something in the lake. Many somethings. I lost sight of her for a few seconds. Then I looked up and there she was, floating again with me. They brought her back. We were
Morty, has anybody ever told you that your life is in a
It happens. Kids have accidents. I was barely 6.
oh,
Hmm.
Just since then, after that, she'd go to the forest and make flowers.
Okay, where is this lake?
in the back of my house.
Where Taldor?
Yes. It's not exactly at the back of my house, but climb down from my
Okay.
bedroom, you can go to the forest and then into the lake.
Vic just looks at Keitra, and then back at Morty, and then back at Keitra again, and he's like,
Yeah.
Can we just like rewind until maybe a week and a half ago and make an executive decision to know?
Can we?
I didn't know this was going to matter. I thought it's just gonna be Dunlea. Why would something that happened when I was 6 matter now?
One day I'm going to take your self depreciation and rip it out of you and beat you to death with it.
That was comforting, and then it wasn't. You're specializing in that today.
Yeah. Morty, I think you're fantastic as a person and there's shit out of you. Shit that happens to you actually matters to you. Doesn't have to matter to everybody else. Although in this case I think it does, but it matters to you. Therefore it matters to us because we're your bloody friends.
Yup.
I don't know
It
everything
just looks
you've
like
done in
Keitra,
your
like, do you
life.
have anything you'd like to add?
Vic, I don't know everything you've done in your life. How am I supposed to know that a story from when I was 6 is going to matter now when we're chasing gems and undead?
Well, he does have a point.
Yeah, but we have been talking about trees, lakes, shadowy beings, shit that went down here and in Taldor.
Okay, yes, that's true.
Contextually,
Contextually, it
makes
makes a
sense.
lot of sense. Yes.
Contextually, all of that happened this morning, so. Okay. If my sister is opening a door, how can my sister open a door in the
you
lake?
put your hand in there and you turn the handle.
It's a very deep lake, but
She has magic, right?
She
I've seen
makes-
Chaz lift stuff from across the room with magic.
makes flowers dance and lights in the
You've
sky.
said that multiple times that she makes flowers dance. Magic, my friend, magic.
Yeah.
Because that's the only magic she could do. Anytime she
That
do
she
Aren't
told
you
you about.
anytime she do
sure?
any magic, our parents would send her to the clerics and they would torture her. That's the only magic she could show
Your
me.
family is fucked up, my boy.
They're dead, so it does not matter.
Doesn't mean they're not fucked up.
That's the
Do you
only
have a
magic
point?
I've ever seen her do. It's the only magic,
They-
as far as I know, she
Wait,
could do.
how could clerics torture her?
I don't know.
Don't clerics like heal?
They
Well, they're
said
supposed to.
they could heal
Well, yeah.
her. They could heal her of dark magic or something or whatever.
Wow,
hurt
they're
her.
fucked.
It hurt
Fucking
her.
backwards Hicks.
They're priests of Helm. They must know what they're doing.
Backwards Hicks. Morty, if every time you picked up a gun, somebody told you for it, you wouldn't tell anybody, right?
No.
Every time she showed some magic she was tortured for, you wouldn't tell even her brother what to do.
Why she left?
Hell, I would
Fair enough.
leave too.
What she said.
I know, because I couldn't do anything.
Your sister being tortured by people that your parents sent her to was not your fault.
She made a decision for herself and for her own good to leave. This was not your fault. You didn't take her there to be tortured. Don't you roll your eyes at me. I saw that.
Oh boy, you're in shit now.
It's again, I don't understand why my family drama would end up bringing trees to
Just
life
because
than death.
you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not relevant.
Why
'Cause
would
it sure
she?
fucking sounds like it is relevant, at
Why?
least
Okay.
in some capacity.
Why would she do this? Why is she going
To get
against
back at the
Aldor?
people who tortured her as a child, maybe?
Aldor had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, but he was mean to you. He was a dick to you.
Be-
And you're the only person that ever seemed to have given a shit about yourself.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Or it could just be uncontrolled rage. We've seen that before.
How can we help these trees? How can we
I don't know
stop the
if we
door from
can.
opening?
I don't know if we can bring
So-
these trees back to life. I don't think that there's anybody powerful enough to do that.
Were they
Or at
sent
least
here?
powerful enough that we know.
Were they sent here by Maddie?
I don't know, you could ask them.
Try.
Okay.
It worries me that you're asking the trees questions in void, but that's a conversation another time.
That's the language the things in the lake spoke. Maddie could
Vic is
speak
trying
it.
very, very, very hard. Can I?
What? Sorry?
What are you trying to roll for? Sorry.
Roll to see if Vic loses his fucking shit.
I guess it's a wisdom throw. Yeah, a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
I rolled high. I actually rolled a 17, and that's just flat. So he beat that. He's just
Nice.
looking at Morty, but internally screaming.
He is having a face journey, right?
Her face went all the way to Red Throne and back.
Yep. Hell, the rest of her would like to go back to Red Throne.
God, you want to go back to Red Throne?
Yes.
Why does everyone want to go back to Red
mean,
Throne?
Don't you? At least we fixed Red Throne. It's already fixed.
Vic, look, why do you think I got that book in the first place? Or I'll
'Cause
ask you
you're
to
a
get that book
nerd.
from. They would speak this language. I found out that what that language was void. Maddie used to
told
speak it. I thought
Like,
it was
where
something.
did she learn it?
She'd break the rules and go to the forest at night or the lake at night. She wasn't supposed to, so I'd come and get her sometimes. Then she'd make the flowers dance, and then I'd take her back home, tuck her back into bed. I guess they like her more.
I don't think it's a case of liking her more, Morty. It's more a case of her liking them more.
Well, they didn't torture her for making magic, so.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
My God.
I am a terrible person. We know this now.
Yes, you are. Also, in case it's being lost in how badly I'm doing this, yes, the player is very aware that the Morty Maddie thing is very sus. Morty, not so much. Okay.
Yeah, we know.
We've come to this conclusion. Morty is on. Oh, everybody.
Squint at Morty.
All right.
Maddie from the
slowly
distance
getting
holding
more
up
and
my
more
card.
convinced.
I know.
I'm slowly getting more and more convinced
No, bitch.
that the thing that came back was not Maddie. It was a
Yeah, that's what
changeling.
we're all
Yeah.
thinking, really.
Yeah.
Although it seems kind of unfair to say to Morty,
Yeah.
Bitch, this not your
Probably
sister.
dead.
Yeah.
Bitch, this.
Please do
Yeet her
not
back
yeet
into
the
the lake.
sister. We're gonna have to
Please
yeet
do
her back
gently.
into the lake.
Yeet the sister back into the lake.
Oh my god.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me.
So help me. So help me. So help me.
Okay, well.
yeah, like, dang. At this point, Vic's just going to be like, okay, so we know now Forrest is not having a good time. You're certifiably insane, but that's okay because we still love you. Keither is very sensible. and I'm having an internal panic attack. So
Who said I am not?
no, I just said you're very sensible. I didn't say you weren't also panicked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Were they sent here though by Maddie? If so, then
Well, fuck if I know.
okay.
Well, we can ask them. You can ask them. Well, I guess I could ask them, but I don't know if they'll answer me.
Please do.
Hello, honorable trees. Thank you for answering the question.
Kurva.
I
Kidra quietly to herself.
Kurva.
Yeah, Pirdola.
Jesus Christ.
Kidra very quietly. I like milk.
Oh God.
Oh.
I don't know if you're the same trees, if you'd remember, but I used to come into the forests of Taldor with my sister. She has hair like the night. Was she the one who sent you?
Like the void.
That is so. You are so into your sister, dude.
Oh no! Don't say that. That's disgusting.
No, Vic. It's not Vic saying it. It's me. Just like so into your sister.
God. That's horrible.
There is
Let's
no
not.
groan carried by the wind, and the breeze, the rustling is quiet. But from the chunk of bark that is now missing in one of the trees, not the chunk of bark, sorry, the
The whole.
The speaky hole.
from the tree from which the chunk of bark was taken, the tiny hole, there is a small bud that suddenly grows so quickly. The bud grows out and it forms a small flower.
Uh-huh.
And yes, it is the flowers that Maddie used to.
Spoiler alert, Maddie's the forest.
I take it that's significant, Morty.
That's her flower.
Oh.
I'm really sorry if I just stabbed your sister by accident.
Mm.
Wait, what? My sister's not a tree.
At this point, I don't fucking know what your sister is.
I'm just throwing it out there just in case. Stabbing you to the tree. Sorry for stabbing you. This is a fun time. And how long would it take us to get to that? Morty?
How long will it
From
take
here.
us to get to the lake from here?
Lee?
To the lake
To
from
the lake.
here. Hold on.
To the lake.
I'm pretty sure I wrote the thing.
We're going to yeet Morty into the lake so he can hang out with his sister.
Yes.
The last time that happened, okay, mind you, this is Morty who, even after nearly drowning in the lake as a kid, would go back to the lake and swim at night anyway.
God.
Because you have
It
no
will
sense of self-preservation.
No.
5 days of travel on horseback.
Good God.
Oh shit. Okay.
Nope. That's gotta wait.
So, plan.
Yep.
What do you guys think of this plan? We fix the shit here, and then fuck off to Taldor and fix some shit there. Go to the pub, have a pint, sit back and wait for this all to blow over.
Can we go to the bar now and have a fight?
I don't know about
Please?
that. Well, we can go have a drink, I guess. But would the bar even be operational?
Fuck, like, yeah, like everyone's fucking evicted because
If we
Lord,
leave
whatever.
money,
And I'm out of
that'll
whiskey.
be alright. If we leave
Well,
money.
that might actually be good for you for once.
Not if we're about to
Word.
wait for the ghost
Your
to
word.
show up in the middle of the marketplace, though.
Yeah,
I want to get onto a roof or something. Away from the middle of the marketplace, but just close enough that I can see whatever's happening there.
We're just gonna look, right? We're not gonna
Yeah, we're just looking.
engage.
I saw what they did to Kidra last time. There's no.
We're not doing that again.
That's a
Dots.
bad idea.
no, I would rather not do that again myself. Thank you, no thank you.
Oogie boogie bad touches, bad times. Don't want that. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's spreading. TV will be so proud.
Uh, Look,
Yeah.
this is not the answer I was hoping for.
Oh, what answer were you hoping for?
That they wanted to protect the townsfolk. Again, you think I'm being naive, but I've never felt more safe than if I were in the forest. I'm safer in the forest than I've ever been inside a built house or home.
I'm not saying that's naive. Like, Morty, I can understand that feeling. Maybe not to the same level as you do, but I do understand it.
I just-
But there's a difference between believing that the forest will protect everybody and protect you. Lady, did you have a sudden feeling?
Did you bump your wrist?
No, sorry. No, just stabbing. It's been stabby winter. Bad
Ah.
cyst thing.
Ah.
I don't know. I left home to become a hero. I came back and I'm not exactly one.
Well,
Right.
what the fuck is a hero even?
The kind they make stories out of.
Bitch, you have stories. They're not
Oh,
necessarily always nice stories, but you got stories.
No, you know the one they make songs out of. One that they remember centuries after.
To be fair, you only left home like, what, a year ago?
Yes.
give it some time.
Yeah, you gotta give it a little bit of time.
Hmm.
And to be fair, what we've done hasn't necessarily been incredibly heroic, but it's been necessary most of the time.
Let's go. Let's go back. Let's see whether Glenn's found out anything about the manor. Then prepare.
When they go to head back, Vic wants to talk to Keitra for a sec.
Mm,
He's just like, hey, Keitra,
yeah.
we're in agreement that if Morty tries to do the noble self-sacrificing thing, you'll get him over there and sling him over your shoulder and walk him out of town, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks. Good talk.
I think that went without say.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Good talk.
Talk.
He like shakes her hand.
Yeah.
Like, Morty looks back. What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm teaching her secret elven handshakes.
Oh. Would Glenn know that handshake?
Probably not.
Oh.
You could ask him to teach you other special secret elven handshakes.
There's other secret elven handshakes?
Voice on the
Yeah, there
wind.
probably are. You should ask him.
Voice on the wind. Vic, I'm not sure if it counts if it's a hand around a dick.
That's a hand shaking a body part. That still counts.
I mean,
Alright. I just.
You can do that while holding hands.
You have a very deep culture. I know very little about.
That's okay, I don't know about it either.
Meanwhile, Glenn, Shadi, you are taking refuge in the shadow of the corpse of a tree. Before long, probably about 25, like 30 minutes, you spot the sprite fellows make their way over to you. And they sort of just float towards you, and they sort of look a little bit disgusted. They sort of pulling various sort of like faces. All right, so what exactly did you want us to start with? Just
Okay, I'll ask some questions. Was the sewer entrance to the mansion guarded by anyone?
yes.
How many? How many were they people?
Okay, like It was guarded by not by people, and there were a bunch of corpses that looked really gross and bloaty.
Oh, that's not good.
Yuck.
Thing is though, they didn't feel like corpses in the sense that they weren't entirely dead.
What?
You could say they
That's
were
not good at all.
undead.
Okay. Okay.
In the back,
Um,
one of the sprites, a zombie level and a sewers level. Don't think of anything.
I do apologize for that. I didn't know what was going to be there. Did you manage to make it into the mansion?
Yeah, did. And it looks like there are a bunch of undead sort of ghosties floating about. They were
Actual
like
ghosties.
patrolling stuff. Yeah, like the kind that kind
Okay.
of suck your life out through your nose or something. That's a lobotomy. I don't know. I don't care.
Shit.
Would you be able
That's
to
not how lobotomy works.
would you be able to hazard a guess as to how many?
I saw like maybe 3, not at the sewer entrance, but near. So enough that they'd be a bit of a problem. There's probably about 2 patrolling the main sort of like ballroomy looking area and the actual living parts, like the living quarters. Well, I suppose they're not really living quarters, someone's living there. I'd say there was maybe 3 people. And one of the sprites piped up about, wasn't there supposed to be like someone they're keeping an eye out for? Like, you know, the guy doing the thing? Yeah, that's right. And the other sort of sprites like, yeah. The person who's doing all this that we kind of just surmised would be behind the stair, but there wasn't anyone who was sort of controlling them, or if there was, they're not there.
I had a feeling that he might not be exactly there.
The house is vacante.
So was there anyone that looked like they were locked up?
Oh yeah, there was. At the bottom there was like a couple of stairs that went all the way down, and there was like a couple of guards, so we couldn't really get past. But the fact that it was a room at the bottom of the stairs and was guarded, I think that was probably an important room. Maybe there's people down there.
Okay,
Maybe.
so was it
more
undead
dead
guards
people.
again?
Maybe. Look,
Not sure.
yes. So there's just sort of like a cacophony of answer to that. Like yes, maybe, no.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is all extremely helpful. I'm just like
Shadi
turning to
from behind.
Shari.
Was it really?
Yes. Is there anything else that like turning to Shari? I just ask her if there's any. Is there anything that you can think to ask them?
There is that that old man that the young man wanted to know about. Did perhaps any sign of this old man?
Walter. I thought he
Walter?
I thought he
Yes.
might be locked up as well. Wally, Walter.
Yeah, I suppose we could ask about him.
Did you
And
did it at anywhere? Did you see an oldish man with stammer? Did he say he was a stutter or a stammer? Perhaps someone referred to him as Walter or Wally.
well, we couldn't really ask around people, so I can't really give an answer to that. But like I said, it's probably all in that bottom room. I think maybe.
That makes sense.
I think.
Okay. I don't think we should keep you for any other reason. I award you all 68 experience points,
Oh my
and you have my
Cheap. So from the back of the cheap.
68,000 experience points. Sorry, my mistake.
Damn Skippy. Hey, with those experience points, I could level up. Oh, that's right. Are you gonna multi-class something else?
Lee makes the best accidental NPCs. Like, holy fuck.
Yep. just quickly, before you go, are you is it the summer court that you're beholden to?
Yeah.
Can you please
Matter of fact,
give them my thanks? Can you please, if you see if you see the lady, could you please give her my gratitude and the gratitude of the Forest Circle of Osgard?
that's like a big mouthful. I'll just say you're really, really thank you. Is that all right?
Yeah, I'm really, really thankful. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Safe travels.
All right. And they all sort of disappear with a fizzy pop.
And then I turn back to Shari. See? Intelligent.
You see Shari pull the most unconvinced look. Like, I mean, again, I suppose your measure of intelligence is different to mine. Nonetheless, we've learned a few things at least.
Is there anything else that you need to do while we're out, or should we head back?
No, should be fine. We should probably make our way back. Before long, it'll be afternoon, and I'd rather not risk any sort of darkness.
Okay,
So
we do that.
you guys- yeah, you do that. All right, so you
I do
guys start
that.
making your way back to the cabin. You do that. You start making your way back to the cabin. Before long, all of you converge once more at the small basement. At this point, it is now probably 2 p.m.
Glenn, I take it the sprites found the path alright? Did they come alright?
Yes, they were rather successful with what I sent them to do.
Good.
So, as far as they can tell, Lord Aldor is not at the manor.
What?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone back to Taldor already.
Doing there.
I could hazard a guess that he's done all he can here as far as resources that he can use. He may be spreading to. Is Taldor larger?
It's a no. It's. I can tell you all the names of. Please don't ask me. But I
No.
can tell you all the names of everyone who's lived there, who's ever lived there. Small.
So, what I can tell you about the manor is that the sewer entrance is guarded not by people, by undead. They seem to hazard a guess that it was reanimated corpse type undead. Though apparently there are at least 3 ghost type entities patrolling inside the manor.
Inside, there's 3. I think.
Prisoners are likely being guarded by more undead in a room down, down on the bottom level of the manor, possibly underground again, a basement type thing, but just as low as it can go. There seems to be what is probably a dungeon of some type.
Yes,
But
wait, Glenn, did they see anyone with the stone plague?
they could only really say that it was reanimated corpses. So wait, they did say, sorry, I'll confer with Shari as well. Sorry, my memory might have gotten a little hazy. Did they say there were some people as well?
Not people, no. I think all the little sprites said that there was a lot of undead.
Okay, as far as I can tell, it's all undead. They didn't see a sign of Walter, but they weren't able to make it into the dungeon guarded, so it's still very likely that he's there.
Here's hoping. Well, we still have to go take a look what's in the marketplace at night. We can't leave this place unless we get rid of some of these, but if we get rid of these, and if Aldor isn't even in his own manor, would they stay dead, down, not moving?
It's hard to say. in the sewer, the sprite said that there were corpses that they could tell weren't completely dead, but they didn't necessarily say they were moving either.
So they were only mostly dead.
Well, they may just simply be in a state seeming inanimate as a trap.
Oh, good.
I'm going on secondhand information from them, and they're very
Mhm.
good at what they do, but I didn't know what to expect and what to ask them to look for.
You just want loot.
Well,
Were you? How did it go in the forest?
uh, so you know how there are trees that came up to fight Lord Elder's forces? They're dying now, and for some reason they speak void. I guess not really some reason. I guess they've always spoken void, but sort of Morty sort of looks nervously at Kira and um Vic.
Vic's
Uh,
just like,
Apparently, my sister sent them. My sister, who's opening a door in the lake. No.
I'm aware that the trees are dying.
Well-
While we were for the sprites, there was the trunk of a clearly it was a moving thing on legs that had died mid-stride, sort of.
So it wasn't a tree.
Well, it was a tree, but that it doesn't mean that something couldn't compel it to do things that a tree wouldn't normally.
he's also very angry sometimes.
Whatever's killing the trees is coming from, it seems to emanate from that manor. Whatever Aldor has done in there is affecting them. If we stop that, we heal the land, and the
but
trees
you
will be
said
able
he's-
to recover.
You said that Aldor has moved on back to Fuckyville.
I don't know if he's moved on to Taldor. All I know is that he didn't appear to be present in the manor.
All right, but if he's, I'm just going off what I was listening about. If he's gone searching for better sources of energy for whatever he's doing,
Yeah.
he may have already just done whatever he wants to do here and moved on.
That's possible. But then
And we may
why?
be wasting time here.
But then why have corpses guard
That's a point.
the
And I
manor?
don't think it's right for us to leave people to the
Well, I
fate
didn't
of.
say I was going to
Perhaps-
leave. I just said I thought we might be wasting a little bit of time. but
Perhaps
that's
there
fine.
is something in the manor that he needs
Protected?
protected.
Thing is,
Mm.
he must know I'm coming here. He demanded that
He
I
invited
show
you.
here.
Maybe it's a trap.
Oh, joy. Crap. For me, I feel touched.
An
Oh.
ambush. Perhaps.
Maybe that's what
A
all the
surprise
undead are
attack.
about.
Oh, it's
So-
like underneath
Surprise
his
attack
breath.
isn't like surprise you're being attacked, or surprise attack is in he actually thought he was being subtle.
Yes.
Hmm.
Sort of underneath his breath,
like
Morty
you.
like goes, sort of glad I didn't go with my original plan. So,
You had an original plan?
What plan?
My elf ears hear bullshit. What are you talking about?
nothing. I just wanted to just blow up the place, you know.
I'm taking that black powder away from you. You can't have it anymore.
Shadi is literally pulling his face at you.
May Morty roll for deception actually.
Yes, Morty may roll for deception, so Shadi can kick his ass.
All right, that's a 22. I lie like a lying rug.
Wait, what are you saying?
That is his plan, just to blow everything up. It's not.
Wow.
It so was not.
You do realize if you blow up the manor, you also blow up the people who are still trapped in there.
I know.
Who God forbid are still safe.
I know this. It wasn't a very good plan. I'm was very angry at the time. I am glad I have friends who know better. So
He's just like
Sometimes.
looks at Vic as into like it's a wordless reminder of their like little
Conversation out in the forest.
conversation that they
Yeah.
that they had like
Vic mimes just like holding a hammer and just.
let's see. Let Morty sacrifice himself or give him traumatic brain injury.
Same diff, really.
yeah. I mean,
I didn't say we'd be hitting. Oh, I did say we'd be hitting you.
yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't say we'd hit you in the head. We might just hit you in the stomach.
I
That would've
was. Oh
caused
yeah.
brain injury.
What?
Well, we can either break his skull or rupture his liver.
True. What if we go for the kneecaps? Nobody ever uses their kneecaps.
Oh yeah. I mean, well,
He doesn't.
I'm
need to
gonna
walk.
roll a perception check to see if I can tell whether you're being serious or not. I rolled a 4. Nope. Please don't.
I
And Vic just turns to Glenn and goes,
oh.
"Okay, so Vic wants to wait around until nightfall and then go out and do the thing."
Night begins to fall. You all settle in, and a couple more of the other survivors in Dunlea return from their respective reconnaissance. They seem to be sort of doing shifts and whatever, keeping an eye on the matter. Meanwhile, in the distance, a very stoic horse and a very distressed rider approach the town of Dunlea at nighttime. And
no.
that is where we'll leave the session.
Well.
Chaz, you better not get your ass killed.
My plan for Chaz to get back to you guys, which Lee just blew out of the water, was for her to put on the sunglasses that Vic gave her, have the coffee in a flask, and just ride in, leaving on Rhinox's neck going, what did I miss?
You can still do that. We haven't
You can
seen you
still
yet.
do that.
Yeah.
You can still do
It's
that.
true, you can still do that.
Okay, by the way, that was very along the watchtower view, Lee, by the way.
A little bit.
And the wind begins to howl.
It's a little
Sorry, I
bit.
don't know what that is.
No, you said the last lines of All Along the Watchtower
Yeah.
by Jimi Hendrix is outside in the cold distance, a wildcat did growl, 2 riders were approaching, the wind began to
The
howl. And you at least did say, in the distance, a rider coming up,
Like,
that's all.
Ah, okay. I didn't know. All right, now I know.
I ripped off something I've never heard before.
Basically, it's like, oh, okay. Huh. Who knew?
Mhm.